Playa, mujeres fumando. Mira, tírame blani, esos nalgas de mentira. Tan brinda, que chimba, colombiana linda. Siempre con los ojos rojos de Cali, con mi amiguita Mari.
My head's in the clouds, can you bring me back down? Boy, I need it. My head's in the clouds, can you bring me back down? Boy, I need it. Need it. Need it. Need it.
All right. Shout out to all you guys that are out there.
He's a la reggaetonero.
I know, right? We were just having a conversation a few seconds ago. Shout out to everybody that's here on. Let me let Andrea do the intro.
Andrea Wallace TV. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Andrea Wallace TV this Thursday. Yeah, the first Thursday of June.
Yes.
For Colombia, it's absolutely December is coming, you know. So thank you for the people start coming to the live stream, this new live stream with your boy Andrew Spence, Andrea Wallace TV, and Andrea and Andrea Love Crossing Borders tonight.
Yes. So shout out to all you guys that are out there. We also want to introduce you guys to an image. We have decided that one of the things that we're going to be changing is our logo. So let me add this to the stage. Let me bring this down and bring this up on stage. Give me a second, guys. Once again, shout out to all you guys that are here. Let me remove that. And let's go here. We wanted to show you guys something real quick. So when you see it on our other channels, you'll recognize that it is definitely still Andrea and Andrea Love Crossing Borders. And this is our new logo. You know, we've had the same logo for the last 6 years.
Yeah.
Last 6 years, off and on, we've had the same logo. And so we decided to make some changes to our logo. So when you go on Facebook, you're going to see this particular logo. You're going to start seeing this logo in regards to our Instagram, our YouTube channels will have this logo. So we'll still have the other logo, but we decided to kind of like revamp it for the up and coming year. We got 34 people in the building. Shout out to you guys. This is going to be our background, as you can see right here up top. We can even change it by way of our media. So we just scroll here to our media assets, and let's see. Go up top, and we just add this. And you guys will see in the top corner
that logo,
that this will be our new logo. So now that's what you're going to be seeing from now on with Andrea and Andrea's Love Crossing Borders. Hope you guys like the new logo. It's just a new direction that we're going to be going with the channels.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you very much, guys, for the compliments. And tonight's topic is about interracial relationships. It's about international husbands, and we're going to be doing some reactions and hear what Andrea has to say in regards to this topic. I have a question for you, Mrs. Spence, before you get ready to
always
go
have
in.
a question for me.
Yes, ma'am. Before you do all the
Andre
shots.
always do that. Even when we're getting breakfast, he said, I got a trick question for you. I said, okay, what are we gonna talk about it?
I do, because I always want to hear stuff from your perspective, from the woman's perspective, your personal perspective. And so I always want to hear what my beautiful wife has to say.
I know.
And let's give the first shout out.
Shout out to T-Mac. I really like the new logo, even into Mr. and Mrs. Spence. Thank you so much, T-Mac.
Shout out to you, T-Mac. Shout out to all you guys out there. And let's continue to scroll down with some more shout outs from the gentleman. Let's go up here. All right. Don, AK.
Don, thank you so much for being here.
All right.
Cyril.
Hola, hola, hola. Shout out to you, DC. Thelonious is in the building.
That's good.
Poor Man 313. That's Detroit boys.
You better back the fuck up out my face, goddammit. I'm from Detroit, Michigan. Don't play with me.
You want to give a shout out to Gary?
Oh, thank you, Gary, for being here. That's good.
Yeah, it's good to see Gary all the time. Shout out to you, and give some love from both of us to your wife. My man Tori is in the building.
Yes, sir.
Here you go again. Show some more love to T-Mac.
Absolutely.
And there you go.
David, thank you so much for being here. Yeah, absolutely.
And let's see.
What's going on, Pristine?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Glad to see that you're here.
Okay.
Bro on the go in the building. He just joined the WhatsApp groups too.
Ah, okay. It's
Jay Clyde over in Medellin. Shout out to you. And my boy Sean D. Upshaw. Them Texas boys. What y'all know about them Texas boys? What y'all know about them Texas boys? Shout out to Sean D being in the building. Appreciate you, brother. We got a great live stream tonight.
Absolutely.
Let's read what David has to say.
Let's be honest, interracial dating is better for Black men. Is healthier, more productive, and healthy.
Yes. My question for you is, when individuals realize that you were into interracial dating, how was the reaction when you were younger? Did they kind of tease you because you like black dudes, or?
Oh yeah, absolutely. How can I'm gonna be dating with or having a relationship with a black guy? So yeah, but more for
or from
friends, no family, not even my mom and my dad. They never questioned me because my preference were black guys. Never. Like they are very clear with that. Super clear.
All right.
What? YouTube is a habit?
YouTube is a habit.
Okay, good. Thank you so much for
like
being here.
Me. Shout out to you, fam. Shout out to my man Ray, Introspective and Travel. Glad to see you here as well. Shout out to all you guys. Almost retired. Countdown is in the building, ladies and gentlemen. And Arizona Marine. Shout out to all you. We said some new names today.
I know.
Shout out to you. And our brother FBA J.
FBA.
You want to read that for us?
Yeah, salute
OG
and Andrea. We call you OG. Why?
Original gangster. When you get older, when you're young,
okay.
When you're young, you know you're a young head, and then when you hit a certain age, you like Unc. I'm past Unc. I'm OG now. You know, you come to the OG for the wisdom. They survived all the stuff. The original gangsters. They survived all the headaches of life. So now they got all the wisdom. So we call the old heads OG.
Peace and blessing to the Crossing Borders fam. Thank you so much for being here.
Yes, sir. Shout out to all you guys that are here. Once again, we're going to be looking at some videos in regards to individuals being upset and disappointed with the fact that black men are going not only international, but also going interracial. It's one thing that modern women don't understand or appreciate the fact that you guys are going international. It's another thing, the fact that you guys are going international and you're dating whoever you want to date. Let me ask you this, Mrs. Spence. If you
What?
were not married, would you still, and I know you and what your plans are, would you still be dating internationally? Because I know you would have been traveling or living in another country. Would you have still been focused on black guys, or you would have been more broad to more different cultures? Let's say you were living in Spain. Would you have just focused on the black brothers in Spain? Because you know a lot of African brothers come that live there, Spain, Portugal, Italy. Or would you have say, okay, I can see myself with a white dude, white Spaniard?
I mean, this is you already know what's my answer, but you know that I got a preference by the country,
Right,
and the religion,
right.
and I would be, if you put the scenario with a black guy or dating a black guy, and it's nothing that I have against to Africa, you know, nothing, absolutely. But when it comes to religion, it just
Right.
you know, they have different beliefs, they have
Right.
different culture, they have different how do you say
Culture. Like,
yeah, and like, for example, I would tell you perfect example, you just guys to understand where I'm coming from. My friends, they are they practice the African religion, you know, and
for
I'm
those of you
Christian.
that, before you go any further, babe, for those of you that don't know, mostly all of Andrea's friends are black Afro-Colombians. So she's been around Afro-Colombian households and cultures and traditions
Yeah.
basically her whole life.
Yeah.
And so when she says that even though many are Catholic, many still follow the African religions.
Absolutely. So, and we never discuss or nothing. We respect each other religion, but when it comes to have a relationship with someone, I'm disagree a little bit. Even though that, for example, I'm dating a Colombian dude, which is, I don't see it, but let's say that I'm dating a Colombian dude, but he practiced the religion.
The African religion.
I'm not part of that. No. It's no.
So you can't see yourself like the Bible says, unevenly yoked with somebody else of another religion. So if I was so that goes to show, and I don't mean to cut you off, but that goes to show that if I was of a certain religion or certain non-Christian beliefs, it would have weighed heavily on whether you would have wanted to be with me or not. So it's not just black Europeans or black Americans or black. It's just
gotta be more for exactly. Just like, for example, if you practice let me correct if I'm wrong. How to say?
Jehovah's Witness.
Exactly. Why? Because they have a different let's say a different dynamic in life. They believe in other things, or they have other routine different than mine. So I
right, like
I try to that you
you
guys understand where I'm coming from.
Yours, to correct me if I'm wrong, and for you guys that are just coming in, shout out to you guys, shout out to Tori, shout out to Marco. We're talking about from the perspective of, if Andrea, no matter where she lived in the world, let's say she wasn't with me, and Andrea knows that she wanted to live in another country, let's say she's somewhere in Europe, would she still date black guys, whether, no matter where they were, as long as they yoke with her? And basically Andrea is saying, and correct me if I'm wrong, I have no problem with dating a black guy from no matter where he is, as long as her deal breaker is, well, one of them is the religious beliefs.
The religions. For example, I don't see me, and this is something that I always have on my mind even before my date, to someone from Arabic
Arabic.
Arabic, well, en español es árabe, sí, árabe en español, árabe,
Árabe.
Muslim.
Mhm.
No, they have all the culture, they have all the religion, and no, I visit absolutely, but I don't want to be. I don't want to be part of it. No, there's a lot of Colombian women that they do it. They got married and they live in Saudi Arabia and everything, and they used to it, and they decide to transform their life. Cool, good for you, but not for me. I got a limit.
Right. So
Yeah.
it's not race that limits
No,
boundaries.
it's not
just,
raised, nothing like that.
Yeah.
No. I got
Okay.
my limit. Yeah.
Right. Tori asked you this question. He said, question, and I know the answer. I want to hear what you have to say. He said, I'm a Black Catholic. He said, I was an altar boy and everything. He said, how would I fare in Colombia?
What is an altar boy?
Altar boy is the young men that carry the all the stuff for the priests and light the fires and all.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. And how do I fare? How will I fare? What I mean?
In other words, how would women see him as a Black Catholic here in Colombia or in South America?
There's nothing any difference because part of Colombia, let's say like 60% of Colombians, they are Catholic.
Right.
So Colombia is a really Catholic country.
Yeah.
So it's nothing. It's nothing that's gonna affect you or something. No.
I have a statement to make to some of you guys that really like the Afro-Colombian community in South America. Andrea brought it up. I have a question for you guys. Can you guys date? Some of you guys are Catholic or Christian or Islamic, and a huge population in Brazil, in Colombia, in Peru, also in Panama, of the Black population hold on to the African roots. So you know, sacrificing animals and different type of rituals. Can you see some of you guys come down here, you see the Black sisters, you're like, oh man, she fine, she's sexy. But do realize these women still hold on to certain African-ish traditions.
Yeah.
Are you guys, put in the comment section, are you guys open as being, since you're Catholic or Islamic or Christian, are you open to be with a fine, sexy Latina, Afro-Latina, but she got to go in the backyard and sacrifice a couple of chickens and a goat?
Yeah.
Are you guys ready for that?
Exactly. If your religion is the opposite. So that's the part, you guys. We have a here interesting comment here on YouTube. Is to have it. He say one of the only things in life that we have no control over is who we fall in love with. True love is different from the physical attraction.
Sure.
In my opinion. You like who you like, your type. Who your type is your type. Yeah, okay, that's really good, your opinion. But for example, me is like the way that most Latina we have been raised. We're not in our blood. We're not like to be there to how do you say, babe? To for example, Muslim, they give all the power to the man.
Right.
So the man is the one who got power in their house. You know, if you visit your family, I give you the permission. I'm sorry, but that's way too much for me. I'm talking about Andrea. Like I said before, there's a lot of women from Ecuador, from Colombia, South America, that they say, I'm gonna do it. I love him and I want to be with him. Good for you. But me, no. It's just like, for me, it's like I'm losing my freedom.
Right.
So no.
Right. Tori says this. I'm gonna come back to some of you other guys. Shout out to my man Logic in the building.
Yeah.
Tori says this. He said, I'm open-minded and I would already and already aware of Afro-Latinas' strong African roots. That's a good point. We already know. And shout out to my man Ken with the pound. Shout out to you, brother. Being from the UK. Shout out to you.
That's UK.
Pound. Hey Ken, do me a favor. Let us know what time it is where you are. And Growth Talk with Kofa in the building. Kofa says this. Let me let you go
a
ahead.
Muslim, and how will I do in Colombia for women that may be willing to convert? How will their families take it? As Paula Colombia correctly. Yeah, you did. Well, that's a strong question. That's a strong question because um, I think it's something that you need to talk to her, and she needs to reach out a lot about your religion if she is willing to do the next step and convert. Is that right? How is it?
Convert, yeah.
Yeah, in Spanish is convertir.
Mhm.
Convert to Muslim. That's up to her. That is up to her. Is your decision, and her family too. But she needs to realize, and her family realize that the dynamic changed completely when you dating with a Muslim guy.
True. So and there are temples down here, and there are Islamics. I mean, there is worshipers of Islam and
Yeah.
Muslim men and women down here.
Mhm.
I remember we were on the other side, on the south side one day
Mhm.
in Harding area,
Yeah.
and we were having lunch. I think we're having submarines or something, tuna sandwiches. And remember, the Muslim family was there. The lady had the whole
Yeah, the
remember
whole,
that day.
hijab
The
and
whole-
everything.
yeah.
And as a Colombian, we respect that absolutely because it's part of your religion, right?
Yeah,
And there's Colombians that they got married with a Muslim women, and they use the how do you say, babe, to not call it in a disrespect word, like the
the head cover or the whole the head dress full.
yeah,
I forget what
dress.
yeah, dress.
Yeah, I know, I forgot the word too. And even though they live here, but they got beliefs and culture from el hijab. Yeah, I know, but the whole
Yeah, we got mosques in Colombia.
especially in the Caribbean zone, in for example in Barranquilla, in the Atlantic coast, there's a lot of most
Oh yeah,
in Colombia.
I forgot about all
Yeah.
the people from Lebanon,
Yeah.
such as
Remember,
Shakira, her family.
Barranquilla got a
Mhm.
lot of Muslim influence.
True.
Barranquilla, because you see it.
That's
He was
true.
dating a girl in Barranquilla. Probably she got like a weird last name, but it's because her family, grandpa
From the Middle
or
East, that's
great grandpa.
true.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's so true. I
Barranquilla,
just remember that.
Cartagena. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, they've got mosques in Bogota. They've got mosques
Yeah.
here in Cali. So it's not. And if they got them here in Bogota, they definitely probably have mosques there in Medellin.
Mhm.
So, but yeah, like T Mac say, lots of mosques in Colombia. A lot of guys don't realize that. Some of the first people that reached out to us as far as getting information were religious people. How Love Crossing Borders came to be how it is, guys, is our first few emails were from guys that were like, I want to come to Colombia, but I don't want to be, I'm not a party dude. I'm not a out there wilding out
Absolutely.
dude.
San Andres too.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh yes, San Andreas,
Yeah, San
definitely.
Andres. See, yeah, guys. So, that one of the things that even the
Shout out to me.
Japanese culture, we have that here. All the culture and traditions. But yes, you guys. I mean,
Especially San Andreas.
yeah, San Andres. Yes.
A lot of Middle
Mhm.
Eastern influences in San Andreas. A lot of businesses, and like Andrea said, Barranquilla, that whole area. Definitely.
That's why Barranquilla got a lot of money.
Yep,
Barranquilla
because of the Middle
got
East.
a lot of
Yep,
money.
the Middle Eastern influence there.
Yeah.
He said, I have
Okay.
respect for African traditions.
Hmm. And it was one of the things that allowed to Asians, that allowed the Asians, to come together and gain their freedom. With Dottie Kuman, I hope to say it right, and Cecilia.
Cecilia,
Okay, Bookman was Muslim.
there we go. There we go. So the reason why we brought this question up, I brought this question up to Andrea, was basically just letting you know, guys, how diverse Colombia is as far as his women. So and as well as his men. So don't make the mistake of when you come to Colombia, assume that it's all Catholic, it's all Christian.
No, we got a lot, you guys. We got, like I said, the African religion, say Muslim or what's the name of that religion?
Nation Islam. I'm not Nation Islam, but Islamic or
Islamic, absolutely.
you say
Mormons,
Mormons,
Christians, Catholic, even the religion from the indigenous here, Waju,
the
all
indigenous,
we have a lot.
Shout out to Caesar being in the building.
Look at what Tiger Blood say. The religion thing is tricky for me, and I am on a spiritual journey myself.
Correct.
That's why, you guys. That's why, I mean, I am in a spiritual journey too. That's why, when it comes to some religions and some things, I'm not going for. If I dating, for example, hanging out, or have a relationship, yeah, I mean, the thing changed a lot, influence a lot. So
Right.
yeah,
Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. Tiger says, I'm not a wild party dude either. He said, I want peace. I'll check out the salsa clubs. He said, but I don't spend. There we go.
but I don't what. But I want to spend many nights in an American style nightclub.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's how it started off for us. If you guys ever wondered which direction we took Love Crossing Borders, why we're the way that we are as far as information, as far as talking about relationship things and travel, it was you guys that are religious that kind of like caused us to think, because we could have been like shout out to Ace Live. We could have been like Ace and them showing y'all the party spots. We could have been like Flyboy Way. We could have been like some of the ladies out there showing y'all where to have fun in Cartagena and all that. But everybody was doing that. It was like every YouTuber was like, come to Colombia, look, the party, club. But you religious guys were emailing us and telling us, wait a minute, I want to come to Colombia too and have a good time. So is it just a big party, or can a dude like me, the first guy that emailed us was a Muslim brother. He was an African dude. The second person that emailed us was a Christian dude. And the third email we got was from a Black sister in the Netherlands. She was dating a Colombian guy there. They were coming back to Colombia, and she asked us, how would Colombian families feel about one of their sons dating a Black girl? Because she didn't know any Afro-Colombian, so she didn't know any better. They were in the Netherlands. So she thought that it would be racism like something like the States, and not realizing that how diverse Colombia actually is.
Yeah.
And those are our first 3 emails that we ever got in 2019. And so we realized that there are a group of men and women that are being ignored. Everybody wants to party is being catered to, but people that want to relocate, people that are religious, people that want a serious relationship, all you guys were being ignored. Nobody was making videos for you guys, talking about real estate, talking about like we talked the other day about the taxes, how we talk about on this channel about government jobs and online work. Nobody, if you still notice to this day, nobody's talking about
like
that.
how this muscle looks. Look at that.
Miss Mama been in the gym. You can't tell her nothing now.
Absolutely. Wait a second, wait. No, like this. It's not necessary to me start reading the comment section while you talking. So
at the end of the day, guys, you guys who are not the party guys and the serious guys and the tourism guys, you're the ones that made Love Crossing Borders the way that it is.
What he say is true. T-Mac, absolutely true. He say, my last chica was Catholic, but knew nothing about the Bible, like me. Used to be, right?
Used to be.
Yeah. Now her own faith. It seems most Colombians are Catholic by tradition. Absolutely true. 100% true. That's why, you guys, I used to be Catholic, my family is Catholic, and like when you becoming real Catholic in Colombia, guys, but real, when I say real is with capital R, is they pray for Virgin Mary, for baby Jesus, for
I didn't know
Joseph,
baby Jesus was real until Andre told me.
for the angels, like for guys, because why I say this, because even 3 months before Met You Boy, I went to a Catholic spiritual
Mhm.
retreat. So it's really strong. The Catholic religion. When you say I want to be like, I want to go deep to the religion, into the
Right.
religion. So it's really strong. It's the same with Christians, you know, and it's the same thing. So when I start to almost like 2 years ago that that for the no, I've been I was in different Christians church. After that, I found one that I really feel comfortable,
Mhm.
and we start
We love our
going. And
church.
some of you guys, when you guys coming here,
Y'all
we
go to
went
church.
with you
You come to
guys
church with us.
to church, and I start feeling like comfortable, and I start to do Bible study, and I start to do a prayer in the morning, and every when Andrew's doing the how do you say drinking hand,
Drink in hand.
or
Andrew's at
on
church.
Friday, I'm going to church every Friday. I try to do it every Friday to the spiritual war, you know. So that's what I say. I become Christian because Catholic, for example, in Colombia, they don't teach you, or they don't yeah, to to Bible
Yeah,
study,
do Bible study.
like just read this verse and that's it, and you're like, okay, that's it, and I'm still doing this. I know that I'm Christian, but every time that I leave the house, I always God protect me with Jesus Christ blood and everything. um
Especially when Andre is driving.
every time when I go into store, when I take an Uber, even for Dre, God please protect Dre. Doesn't matter where he's going, doesn't matter. But yes, you guys. So, and now with a Christian, I started doing Bible study. I start to understand more the Bible, and what Tima say is absolutely true. It's absolutely true.
And that's one of the things that Andre and I enjoy about each other is our Bible study times. Like
Mhm.
I was telling Andrea a couple weeks ago, I think about 2 months ago actually, about how Jesus' brothers are mentioned in the Bible. And so Andrea looked at me like, "What?" And I was like,
Yeah, but you never
here,
mentioned.
here's his brothers." And so it names off all four of his brothers, and it says his sisters. So Jesus was not an only child; he had four brothers. They gave off all the names of the brothers, and then it says his sisters. So he has at least 2 to 3 sisters. So, but based off Catholicism, it's presented as if it's just Jesus by himself and he has no other brothers and sisters. So one of the things, and that's one of the things that I always mention to you guys, why me and Andre don't have a television in the room, because these type of conversations are had by us off camera,
Okay.
and having a television in the room will be more of a distraction. Go ahead, babe.
Wait a second. What? Now witchcraft? I work with two witches in the military. Witchcraft is a hard pass. No.
Yeah.
Why he say he's not agreeing?
Yeah, he said he doesn't agree with that. There are a lot of people down here that put a spell on you in Colombia. Them sisters,
Especially sisters.
they will put a spell on you, bro. That is very common.
Guys, let me tell you something. This is maybe the first time that I'm gonna say this after 6 years that we have been doing this on YouTube. I know that a lot of you guys, even here right now, they say, I don't care about I don't care about the religion. I like what I like, or I'm not paying attention to the religion side.
Mhm.
It's your thing, right? But these things like witchcraft, like African religion, which is totally different because people confuse African religion with witchcraft. They are totally different. But they're strong. They're really strong. They have a really strong energy. And I know because for my life, I always have friends who practice the African religion or the Yoruba religion. And I never been a part of that. But I feel it that it's strong. So if I feel it that it's strong, even though that I have friends and everything, I don't want to be involved with someone who really practice the religion. And when we have intimacy, that energy passed to me. No. And they knew it. African religion, they knew it. They very, because I talk to with my friends, I talk to people, so they explain me a lot when it comes to the intimacy, especially without any condom.
Condom.
Yeah, in the middle. It's a lot of going on. So I say, hell no, not for me.
Right.
So you guys, seriously, and with this witchcraft, I think you feel it. And I think you start to recognize if you want to go blind and pretend that this is not, I don't believe that. Yeah, you don't believe it. That's part of the work. You don't believe it. So it's just you guys, yeah, be careful.
Yeah, they will put something on you to make you fall in love with them.
Mhm.
They will put something on you to
Yeah.
attack your ex-girlfriend, your new girlfriend. They'll put something on
Yeah.
your wife. They'll put something on, and I'm talking about they're serious about it, man. And I'm talking about they for the people that do believe in it and follow it, they put in good money to get these things done to you.
Seriously, those jobs, babe, those jobs are really expensive. Around, let's say that a girl say, I want this dude to be my husband. Okay, the job is gonna cost you, I just put it a number right out there, 1,800,000, and that dude's gonna be your husband. Okay, yeah, good. He becomes your husband. The thing is that is karma for you. If you even know that you plan, you pay to a witchcraft to do that type of job, that BS is gonna come to you as a karma.
True.
Absolutely. Black
That's a good
Nubian.
point. Shout out to Black Nubian in the building.
We got
Canadian
another
brothers.
one. I think I saw another one here. Here. There we go. What's good? Thank you so much, Keep
Thank
W.
you.
What's good, brother Andre? Nice to meet you, Andre. Nice to meet you too. The amount of gain that I got from your streams this past week on fragrance and expect
taxes.
tax benefits was truly, oh, sorry.
Beneficial.
Yeah.
Oh, invaluable. It's truly
Mhm.
invaluable.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We got a great show coming up tomorrow, guys. Gonna have several guys up here when it comes to government contract work, not only just online, but also around the world. If you want to do some contract work in other countries, you've been hearing about guys making six figures if they leave and do contract work in other countries. Tomorrow's show is going to be the show for you. So guys, definitely be ready for that one, and appreciate you guys. Oh yeah, Ronan, I'll be reaching out to you because I really want you to be on the show tomorrow. If you're not busy tomorrow night, right around 8:00 Eastern. So there's a few of you guys that I definitely want to be on the show. I was just thinking about it as I was talking.
Mm-hmm. I definitely understand where there is good, there is evil. From Luciana, so voodoo, roots, spirits all assist. The fallen agents gave a spell and curses to humans.
Yeah, fallen angels. Yeah.
I know if you God, Jesus give us the power to
Blood of Christ, amen.
to
But a
broke
lot of
all
guys-
of this.
Yeah, but a lot of guys don't have that belief in the blood of Christ.
Exactly.
They don't believe
in Jesus.
in Jesus. They don't believe in Islam. They don't believe in anything. But they'll sleep with these women that do believe in something. I'll say that again as Andre goes on.
Mhm.
You don't believe in anything, cool, no problem. These women that you sleep with believe in something, and they believe that they can pay $600 to somebody, like Andre said, 1,800,000. That's $600, and they can pay somebody $600, and that's almost 2 months
Exactly.
of wages. I want you guys to realize $600 in Colombia is 2 months of wages to put, like Andre said, a job or root on you. But it can, like Andre said, the women will warn the ladies. It will backfire to where this dude will come up obsessed with you. You want him to love you like
Absolutely.
unconditional. Okay, now he's going to be beating you. Now he's going to be attacking you. Now he's going to be super jealous. Now he's going to be super insecure. That's the bad part of putting the root on a guy that you want to have.
Yeah. And because on TikTok there's a lot of witchcraft that they talk about it, and I like to hear what they have to say. And they say they do it. They got the man that they want. The thing is, if that man got an accident and he is wheelchair, I told you that story.
Yeah.
And the woman, look, she said, I
True
got a case
story.
of a girl that her husband is how do you say, babe? Like,
Quadriplegic, paralyzed.
yeah, but even
Oh, brain dead.
so, she said, but I don't want to be married with him anymore. I want to enjoy my life because I'm still young. And the witchcraft say, but you pay for, you want to tie that guy to you. That's your
Now
karma.
he's tied to you.
That's your karma.
Now he's tied to you because
Yeah.
when he was young and handsome and
Mhm.
he was everything that you wanted, you paid $600, 2 months' wages to have a curse put on this man's life to be in love with you. So that's what he did, and you would be in love with him, and that's what you did. He got in an accident, but he's still yours. Even though he's brain dead, he's still yours. And now the women are trying to get out of the curse, but the lady is saying, no, it doesn't work like that. You don't just jump in and out of this. He's all yours, brain dead and all, and you're all his. And nobody else will ever, part of the root is nobody else will interrupt that. So you can't you can go out there and try to replace him, but it'll always come back to where you have to go back to him, because no man will take you serious as you wanted this serious root. No other man will interrupt that.
Mhm.
That's how serious they take it here in South America. Do not think that this is a game down here. I'm glad we kind of talk about this. We never have before, but some of you guys come down here and think some of these women down here are the most gorgeous black women you've ever seen, and they are, but they do have religious beliefs, and you have to respect that. And you might laugh and say, girl, whatever, but she's going out back and sacrificing, or she's going to somebody that's a witch and paying for some things to happen to you. So when you leave and go back to the States, you're wondering why your life is kind of like being interrupted since you went back to the States, not realizing when you left, she paid somebody to do something to you.
Yeah.
And that's very common.
Guy coming here and he say, thank you so much for being here. And he say, love the channel, but the women not lose their freedom when they become Muslim. That's probably their Arab culture. That's all.
I don't know.
Well, I see other examples. That's what I said. What I said.
Yeah. This is the other thing, guys. We as Americans and as Canadians in UK, we grew up in such a structured we grew up around, at least, let's say you're not religious, but you at least grew up in a country of structured religion, such as Islam, Buddhism, Judaism, Christianity, Catholicism. It's structures and it's rules and it's blueprints that we're accustomed to. But then you come to South America, or you go to parts of Africa, and they have their own structures, but they're so foreign to you that you don't even believe that they're real. So you believe yours is real. You believe the religions that you were around as growing up as a kid, such as Catholicism, Nation of Islam, Sunni Muslim, Shiite Muslim, more science. You believe all those are real. But when somebody introduces you to what's happening in South America or parts of Africa, we kind of shun it off like, oh, they're talking, but it's not real. But to the people here, their religion is just as real as our Christianity, as Catholicism, and as everything else. So when we say don't take it for granted, don't laugh off what these ladies believe, because when they tell you that when you go to sleep, they're going to do something to you, don't think they're playing a game. It is not a game here in South America. It is that serious when it comes to them a pain to have things done to you. It is that serious.
Yes, you guys. So yeah, I mean, no, I totally, that's what I said before, that witchcraft is not African religion. It's not the same. Okay, that's what I said, to not confuse.
Right.
Andrea said no,
Right.
absolutely not. No,
Absolutely.
no. Okay, T-Max say, my son chose Islam, and my only reaction was to make sure that he took it seriously.
Correct.
And I bought him
Prayer
I
rugs.
bought him prayer rugs and bilateral
Bilingual.
bilingual. Okay.
That's a good dad right there. Shout out to you, bro.
Yeah, you guys, I mean, for real. I mean, in my family, we have Christians that they don't share Christmas, they don't share, they don't dance, they don't have a drink, and you respect that.
Yeah.
You respect that. I mean, for real.
Meek says this. He say Numbers 23:23. Surely there are no enchantments against Jacob, neither is there any deviation or divinations or curses against Israel. According to this time, it shall be said of Jacob and Israel, what has God worked or wrought? I agree with you, Meek, and I agree with the scriptures. Of course, Andre and I are Christians, but we're talking about for those that don't take their Christianity serious, and we're talking about those that don't believe in anything, or they don't take their personal, whether you're Islam or whether you're Catholic, they don't take their own beliefs, they don't take their Buddhism serious. These are the ones that for one way or another, where you could call it a curse from Satan or a curse from demons or a curse from whatever it is.
Yeah.
We know as Christians, we can't believe in the angels only. And we know as Christians and as even as in Islam, that there are demonic forces that are in the world as well.
Mm-hmm.
So for those that don't believe in anything, or you take your religion for granted and you just like, oh, I was raised a Christian, but I ain't really a Christian like that. Got you. But these women here, they take their African beliefs serious.
Yeah.
But then there are women that takes remember what we said, the African religions and witchcraft are completely different. So we're not saying that African religion is witchcraft. That's completely different. But the ones that are into witchcraft, and I know a couple of them, do realize if you don't take your Catholicism, Christianity, your Islam, your whatever your Buddhism serious, your Judaism serious, don't worry. These women on the demonic side, when it comes to witchcraft, they have no problems having the demons that all of our religions know exist according to our religions, and having those demons come after you in your life in a way that you didn't expect. So don't think that these sisters are just sit back like, what? Oh, you don't believe in Catholicism, or you can like halfway play with your Christianity. So I'm a halfway play being a witch. No, they take witchcraft even in Cuba. Remember we were in Cuba?
Guys, that's what wait a second. There's two interesting comments that I want to read in a minute. But in Cuba, and I always say this, even to my friends that they practice the African religion, they have their own padrino. Padrino to them is like a pastor in our religion. But, and I talked to him, and we just talking, and he just looking at me, and I know that they analyze the person. And I say, yeah, I mean, he mentioned Cuba. I say, yeah, Cuba is really strong when it comes to energetic, and when it comes to spiritual side, it's very strong. I feel it. Andre, I don't know if he felt it. I feel it the first night. I say, babe, it's the Havana, especially La Havana.
Yeah.
It's really strong, the energy. I feel like this, and I couldn't sleep the first night because it was really strong for me. Why? Maybe because I'm spiritual, more sensitive. Yeah. And I explained to him, and he said, yeah, Andre, it's true. He said, all Santeros, we going to Cuba to do this, and he started to explain me. Say, okay, yeah, and I know that is because our the tour guide he explained to us.
He took us to where they sacrificed the animals.
Exactly. So I say, yeah, I understand, and we talk about it and everything. And I say, no, my religion is Christian, and you guys' religion is Santeria, and I completely respect that. I'm not involved in your business. You're not involved in my business.
Right.
So, and that's we everything we respect when it comes to talk this type of subjects. What is it? Hi, coffee. Thank you, David. And he say, Andre, I have a lady cook for me, and I didn't trust her, and I gave the food to my friend to see if I could get Christmas. Oh my God. And we got another comment here.
Shout out to me.
They say, I have to disagree. I'm from Asian. Yeah. For
I'm Asian.
IT in Espanol. Background whose family was into the African religion, la Santeria. And it's the same thing how witchcraft.
Well, it depends on which African religion you guys have in Haiti compared to the rest of South America.
You know, with all respect, what I see when I reach out, I know in Haiti they practice el voodoo, and el voodoo, even the witchcraft, even the Santeros, el voodoo is the most strong and dark religion in the world. That's what they say. So you let us know, because you know we never been there. You know, yeah. And he also say many pay for play are into that, and you have to be very careful around them, because they will have no problems to poison your food and etc. Many sisters in the States are witches as well.
Yes,
like
sir.
they say in Mexico, in Cuba, absolutely. In El Salvador, Nicaragua, Colombia, Panama, Brazil, the Amazon jungle, Peru, everywhere. Everywhere. Tima say, I believe in the power of fate, and I witnessed a curandero before on a woman that was possessed, and she recovered in the same thing.
Oh, the same night.
The same night, sorry. Curandero. Yeah, I don't believe that anymore. I used to be, because in a Catholic religion in Colombia, even that you Catholic, you go to these type of people to have a solution, you know. And like I said before, I used to believe that. Now that I passed to Christianity and I start to see Jesus' power in my life, I quit to all those things to believe in curanderos, in spiritual doctors, and all of that. Okay, he said another explanation. He said Asian voodoo, I think you say, is not a witchcraft. Witchcraft is from Wicca. And voodoo, you have a magic practice inside, but it's not about magic. Okay, it's a religion. Okay,
right.
The magic is called Wanga, and not everyone do it. Okay, thank you for your answer or your opinion.
Let's get. I know we can kind of like harp on this particular topic.
I know you guys. When
night.
it comes to, I noticed that when it comes to religions, guys talk about.
And but we're going to go on to the topic to the night, because the topic for tonight actually is about interracial dating, interracial relationships, international marriage. Why is it that modern women have such a big problem with individuals getting married internationally? Shout out to our sponsor of the day,
Theo. Thank you so much,
Theo. Let me see what Theo has to say.
Okay, this is why I sleep next to my dogs. They protect me from the witches. Chewbacca is witches from.
Shout out to Chewbacca, Theo's dog. Shout out to both of Theo's dogs, and shout out to Theo for sponsoring the channel today with $500. So shout out to Theo. We appreciate the brother for all that he does for the channel, in front of the scenes as well as behind the scenes. We appreciate you, brother.
It's the same when we're doing a live stream. I always say, guys, this live stream is for you. Everything that we say, you guys like the live stream. I hope that you guys and everybody got a really good energy and everything, because you never know.
Yeah.
You never know. You never know. People is so sometimes people super envy.
Yeah.
Or your vibe, or your relationship, or your lifestyle.
Yes, sir. And let's get
Tim, I said I can talk about it, theology and religion.
As to why so many modern women are confused as to why men are leaving. You know, why we have the passport bros.
First of all, for you guys that weren't here earlier, this is the new logo for Love Crossing Borders. You're going to see this on some of our up and coming channels. So just in case you guys see this is not somebody else, it's actually us. So as you can tell in the top corner, this is the new logo as well. So shout out to all you guys that have supported us. You're going to see it on the websites as well as on our Facebook page. Shout out to all you guys that have supported us. We've had the same logo that you see in the back for the last about 4, 5, 6 years of doing YouTube. And so I just kind of like decided, let's make some changes. And one of the changes we decided to do is with our logo. But let's get started with the video. Add the video to the stage.
Look for women elsewhere. A lot of women are asking.
And let me turn this down. Thank you very much, DJ. DJ says nice, great looking, such as Marco also says the same thing. And we're going to get started with what women are complaining about when it comes to passport bros, men getting married or in solidified relationships on an international scale. What's the problem? What's the problem? Shout out to you guys. And Zero says this. He said, Dre, he said, remember movie night? He said, remember the movie, the Serpent and the Rainbow? He said, man, ever since these dowels and random sticks in the backyard.
Gets my antenna up.
Yeah, gets my antenna up. Thank you very much.
Okay, I understood
I
in a different way.
I do remember the movie.
The antenna up.
Well, I'm just curious as to why so many modern women are confused as to why men are leaving. You know, why we have the passport bros and men who are deciding to look for women elsewhere. A lot of women are asking the question, why? And some of them seem so oblivious to the point where they really don't get it. They really seem to not understand why men are saying, hey, we want to look for love somewhere else. So I just want to kind of address that and just kind of give them a little bit of the reason why a lot of these men are looking elsewhere for love and marriage and family and all of it. So
now, before she goes any further, go ahead, babe.
No. That's what I'm gonna say. Oh, let me do this stuff because I'm learning.
Okay.
You let me know.
So, up there. You don't even need to touch it. Oh, if you want to blow it up, you can. Yeah, okay. You did that right. Okay. A lot of times you have, or you can do this as well. You can do this one over here.
Okay.
You can do this one over here. You can do this one over here. I stopped her photo.
Okay. I got it.
There you go. Okay. Before she goes any further, let's be real. These women know why we're going international. Women are not stupid people. Women know why men are getting flights. They'll sit back and criticize you. Well, you could have got that woman in the States. Well, if I could get that woman in the States, I would have gotten her in the States. What do I always say, guys, that you cannot get in the States? You can find love. Yes. You can find ladies. Yes. Women will never admit that you will not find the right laws in the States. Men are leaving not because they can't find love or find the right ladies, but because you cannot find fair laws. A lot of times women think that it's only about them. You see how they circle everything about them? It must be about us. It must be they can't handle us or they don't want to be with us. No, we just don't want to be with the bad laws either. It does apply to you, but it also means that we don't want to be around these bad laws. I've got a question for you, Mrs. Spence, before we go any further.
What happened, Mr. Spence?
What does the average Colombiana say about foreign men coming to Colombia, falling in love? What does a Colombian YouTube or Colombian TikTok has to say?
A lot of TikTok, then they are disagree. They think that you guys coming here for pay for play. Other ones think that you guys want a submissive woman because you can handle real woman in your home country. I'm not saying specifically the States because there's a lot of guys from Europe coming here to fall in love because in Europe they start having these feminist empowerment women, you know, and that's why they're getting along with multiple cats and pets and, you know,
right.
Whatever. So a lot of women say that. If you ask me if I see videos, yeah, I watch videos. And a lot of women say that you guys come here to have to you guys want a submissive woman, someone to cook for you, someone to clean for you, a housewife, because in the States you can find that, because in the States women are stronger, but they don't know what is behind of that.
Oh, so they look at women in the States as being stronger because they see women in the States might have jobs or more cars, more money.
Yeah, like
But
more
they don't-
money,
Right.
more talking,
Yeah, but they don't realize that
Louder.
those women are alone. Those women are
the
overweight.
attitude,
They don't have
the
any,
attitude.
anybody that loves them or cares
Got,
about.
I never ever hear any girl from even from Europe or from Latin, let's say, or South America say or talk about the attitude that you guys are enough of the sister's attitude.
Right.
They never talk about that because probably they don't have a friend, or they're not in a SPAT or a group or friends to talk about that.
So they're not exposed to men from other countries or women from other countries
Yeah.
to see those attitudes. So they assume that, well, the men in the United States are just coming here. Either they want a slave or they want sex. That's all they want, slavery and sex. So, and the reason why I asked Andrea that question is I knew the answer. I want you guys to think about when you come to these other countries, whether it be South America, Southeast Asia, Southern Europe, or South Africa, do realize how we are carrying ourselves is noticed. Women aren't stupid. In the States, women aren't stupid in other countries. They see us get off the plane. They see us run to the brothels. They see us going to Cartagena in masses. They see us going to Medellin in masses, but we don't go to the small towns. We don't go to the fincas. We don't go to, you see what I'm saying? We don't go to the fincas. We don't go to the small towns. We don't go to any of those areas, but we have the tendency of going in masses to where the pay for play is. So we can't be upset with the women because of this. Shout out to Theo. Let's give a shout out to Theo, who has just gifted five memberships to the channel. Make sure you guys who have become members, make sure you show Theo some love by saying thank you to him. Shout out to you guys.
We gotta hear a comment. Marco say, it's crazy because when I first went to DR, I come back to the States. Every chick asked me why you wanted a woman from another country. I would have dated you. Okay, I would have dated you. Really?
Yeah. A lot of women don't realize that.
Tima say, women in the US usually talk about what men needs to do for them. They don't ask what they can do to keep a man happy. If you
No.
say it, you weak.
Before we go any further, do women in Colombia think like that too? Pull that back up for me, babe. Do women in Colombia think like that? Do they think like, oh, I don't have to do anything for a man?
No.
I'm pretty, so
Hell no.
So that see, and that's the contradiction of Colombian women.
No, because we
They-
have been raised in different. We are
Environment.
different.
Right.
Starting for our grandmas, we always see our grandmas attend and be the, how do you say, the
Provider, the glue.
glue, not the provider, the glue of the family, you know. So we see in our grandmas, or see grandmas to cook for grandpa. We see grandmas to attend the house. We see grandma to be the manager of the house. We see grandpa to see the provider of the family, to be the protector of the family. So we see it. I saw my grandma. Well, I saw my two grandmas. I saw with my mom. I saw all my aunties. I saw all my cousins, and now it's on me too. You know. So or culture in that sense is different. The way that we grew up is different. Absolutely, the Latinas, and you ask to Latinas, no Latina is gonna date with a broke man. No. And now with all this information out there and everything, hell no. No. We won't be the woman or the process. And I told this to Dre. After you 25, don't be the woman of the process. Hell no. No. It's not even a joke.
Correct.
It's not, yeah, absolutely. So these women, they want a provider, a protector, a real man, no a soft guy, a real man, not a machista. Don't confuse real man to be a machista, never, but a real man, you know? And they knew if I got a career, I also need to attend my husband. If I am a lawyer and I got my business, I know that I'm gonna cook for my husband his favorite plate. Maybe not every day because I don't have the time to do it, or we got a maid to do it. But I know how to do these things. I know how to keep a house because I saw my mom doing it. I saw my grandma doing it. So in all culture is different.
So when you see some of the women on Colombian TikTok saying that these men want a slave, why do you think they say that? Are they just saying stuff that they hear American women say? Because and the reason why I say that, don't forget your thought. The reason why I say that, on one hand, your tradition says take care of the family, but then they go on TikTok and say, well, they want slaves. Well, wait a minute. You're only repeating what you hear women in America say, because when these cameras go off, traditionally, you're cooking for your husband, you're taking care of your kids. When you get home from work, you're going to school, you're getting your career, but at the same time, you're having babies and families anyway here in South America. So is it just that South American women, or at least in Colombia, are just talking to be talking and just saying stuff to be saying it? Because you can't off camera be a traditional woman in South America, a traditional Latina, but then at the same time you go on camera and say, yeah, they want slaves.
They confuse traditional white to slave.
Right.
They confuse that a lot. They confuse a
Here?
lot that. No, in the States.
Okay.
In the States, because even a lot of women, you know, TikTok is my favorite info media, and you have no idea how many women in the state, but Latinas, not even American, Latinas, they make TikTok video recipes. They say, I wake up at 3 a.m. I wake up at 4 a.m. to prepare lunch. I assume that they are Mexicans or they are married with a Mexican guy. They call lunch to prepare my husband lunch. And a lot of women say, yeah, you see, you are a slave. Yeah, you cook for a man. Yeah, like attacking her in the States. Like, I wake up at 4 a.m. to prepare my husband breakfast and lunch because he works all day. He's the provider. He keep my nails done, my house, done or
provided for.
Exactly. So my job, because I don't work, I'm the housewife. So my job is to cook for my man, is to keep this house 1 to 10.
Right.
That's what she said. 10 to 10. That's what she said. Well, a lot of women say, they say, girl, why you criticize what I do for my husband? And a lot of guys say, yeah, that's how you keep a man. That's how you keep a man. This man is a winner. This man is this man is that. And for example, in Spain, there's a girl, super young girl. She may be under 25. Her name is Roro, if you wants to reach out in Spain. And she become popular or viral because she started to say, I cook for my boyfriend. And she started to cook different recipes. She said, I cook, my boyfriend said that he wants this, so I'm gonna cook for him. And she wants to viral. Like, she wants to viral, making money just because I cook for my boyfriend. And a lot of modern women or empowered women in Spain and around the world start attacking her. That she was a slave, that she was submissive, that she doesn't have any power in the relationship, just because I make videos of cooking for my man. So this modern thing is gonna let you alone for real.
Yeah. Yeah.
When a bunch of cats. Teray say, really?
Rarely.
Really?
Really?
Do I hear a woman actually ask a passport brother to be on their show and ask the questions they only assume?
Absolutely correct. They'll never interview us. Never. And then when they do interview somebody, they'll interview a Black traveler.
Mhm.
They'll never interview Black expats. They'll never interview us guys that are looking and we've traveled to several countries. They'll interview a guy that went to Cartagena, partied all weekend, or went to Brazil and partied all week, and then they'll interview him as if he's a passport bro.
Yeah. Real say, I am born and raised in the US, but after dating an Asian and a Russian woman, I would never be with an American woman ever again.
Yep.
Okay.
Necro. Shout out to you, brother.
Okay, he say, they always ask me why I date outside the States. I tell them the treatment and respect that I receive. The States cannot compare. Wait, sorry. And my soul is abroad.
Abroad, another country.
Yeah, I know. Wait a second. My body works in the States. Zero say, or worse yet, women in the States always trying to tell
Worse
you
yet.
to tell you how you feel, what you think, what you need.
So true.
Okay, wait a second, Andre. Because I can.
Oh, slaves.
Uh-huh.
Ecclesiastes 36:24.
Mhm.
He that getteth a wife beginneth a possession, a help like unto him, and a pillar of rest. That's to him that gets a wife. These women are slaves to their jobs with no problem, but with a husband.
Okay.
I didn't get it.
Ecclesiastes 36:24. We need to
Right.
read that in the Bible.
Yeah,
Actually, you got your Bible here.
I know.
Really?
Yeah,
Wait a
let me
second.
read it real quick. Ecclesiastes 24. As you go on to the next one, I'll pull that one up.
Ecclesiastes 36:24. Okay. There we go, you guys. We as a passport brother, we are looking for a structure for women, not the hypocrites or hypocritas in the States. I
Wait a
just
minute,
read in
look,
comment
look,
sections.
Go back for me. man.
What in Ecclesiastes?
That's what I thought. I wasn't wrong.
36.
Ecclesiastes doesn't have a 36. Ecclesiastes only has 12 chapters.
So you gotta be other
That's
one.
the part that threw me off for a second. I was like, wait a minute, Ecclesiastes is not that long. Shout out to Evan in the building.
Oh my God. Latinas learn from early age how to treat a man from the father, mother, etc. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you, Evan, for your donation. And he said, greetings. I go to Brazil. That's great. We got to go over there in a few weeks for vacation. I will always choose foreign woman over American woman. I have the best dating experiences in Colombia and Brazil. Becoming a passport man is one of the best decisions that I ever made.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, because you open your mind to
Yes.
different cultures.
Yes.
TSA, I date a Russian woman in Russia, and she treated me so well. I can never even have a coffee again with an American woman.
That's a good point. That's a
You
good
guys,
point.
it's
You get
like
treated
me
so well.
after being married with an American and see the world back to be with Colombian dude. No, it's like going to this. No,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sorry, but no.
Yeah. I feel the same way.
No,
I feel
no,
the same
no,
way
no.
as you guys. I couldn't see myself trying to, let's say if Andre and I weren't together, I couldn't see myself with somebody from the States. I'm cool with ladies in the States.
Absolutely.
Let's talk, let's have coffee,
Friends.
let's laugh,
date?
friends, but relationships, no, I can't see it. I can't even see myself being intimate with a woman in the States again, because I don't want to start something. I don't want to, a person even assuming that they got a chance for a relationship. So yeah, I respect them and I stay out the way.
Ben say, good evening to the Spence. No hockey tonight. So I'm fully here. The fact is Western woman view men have accessories. Women in Southeast Asia, South America, and other places view men as this coffee necesidad, or how do you pronounce
As
this?
necessary.
Necessary?
Or necessity.
Necessity.
Something that's needed.
I know, como una necesidad en español.
Who's your hockey team, Ben? Let me know who your hockey team is. My team are the Lightning and the Red Wings.
Terry say they would do whatever that job tells them to do with no problem. Yet they give their men hell all the time.
Shout out to T-Mac with the new membership.
Okay, we got here. Let's just say eclesiásticos. I think it's in Spanish. It's eclesiásticos. 30 says 24. When a man marries, he gets the finest things, the finest thing, and he will ever have a wife to help and encourage him.
Logic. Ecclesiastics.
Wait a second. Here we got. Look what he said. I don't know.
Which Bible are you guys reading from? Let me ask you that.
Okay.
Let me ask you where you guys are reading from. Because in Ecclesiastics,
okay. Look at with this one.
Ecclesiasticus, you will find Ecclesiastics in Ecclesiasticus in the 1611 version of dudes. We're talking about regular everyday Bibles. We're not talking about the pseudepigrapher books.
Oh, okay.
The pseudepigrapher books that are before the modern day Bible or even after the modern day Bible. I got you guys in regards to that.
But he say, what I meant is that this woman will be slaves and take orders from the boss in their jobs, but won't be in service to their men or husbands.
Let me ask you this. You and I just finished talking about Colombian TikTok where the women are like, yeah, they want slaves, that they just want sex workers and slaves. Okay. When it comes to Colombian men, do they talk like that about Colombian men? Do traditional women in Colombia talk about Colombian men as they want a slave?
I would say yes and no. Why? You know that Colombian men are very dependent from the mama.
Right.
Mama do everything in the house.
True.
Cook,
True.
iron, wash, everything.
That's true.
So when it comes to live with a woman or marry with a woman, a lot, I don't say all, but a lot of them expect that their woman do all those things, which is unfair. Why? Let's say that she doesn't work. And I'm not talking about like she's in the office, in the house, working in the house, that she's absolutely concentrate here and everything. No, I said, let's say that she doesn't work at all, right? Not even remotely. Okay, I understand that she got a job to keep the house running, to keep the house clean, to keep the food, warm, everything. That is different. But here in Colombia, women, they say, if I work and you work, don't even expect that I'm the one that you're gonna wait for me to cook for you. No, we both have jobs. We both put money on the table. Just because I'm the woman doesn't mean that I'm gonna be your servant. A lot of Colombian women think like that, and I'm the same way.
Has it always been like that, or is it starting to change to
It
be like
started
that?
to change. Because why? Because I saw my mom. But that the difference is, and I always said, and it's still today, I always, put like some spicy on my mom, because my mom is the one like, no, I need to. I say, Mom, let's get a coffee. No, no, I need to cook for you. That what? I mean, he's a grown 60-year-old man. He can cook for himself. He's going to work at 10 p.m. Sometimes
He
he's
do a third
changed.
shift.
Yeah.
Yeah, Orlando
Or
works
he
third
get
shift.
he get to the house at 2 p.m. He got like at least 4 hours to prepare something. How can you tell me they're gonna cook for my dad? That he has been both have jobs. That's the difference. Both have jobs. But my dad arrives to home early than my mom, and she
Right.
is still like, I need to go to cook for your dad and from Camilo. Camilo is my brother,
Yeah.
and that pissed me off more. I say,
Milo's
hell no.
spoiled.
Oh, hell no. No, 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 no. To me, I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. Like, they can prepare a sandwich, they can prepare arepa, and that what she said. She disagreed with me with this, and my grandma too. It's because you got a modern husband. They're not Andre. I
I'm
say,
modern.
even that when I go hanging out, or when I'm going to do something, Andre already have his breakfast, or I cook the lunch. So I say, okay, Andre got his lunch, so he got lunch and dinner, so I can head out, or I can be out, or I need to
Out
do
and about.
things. Yeah,
See, I could easily say this. This is
Yeah.
we're not telling our business, but I could easily say that 90% of the cooking Andrea does. I can easily say on the average week, Andrea will cook breakfast almost every day. Or Andrea will cook lunch
Mhm.
almost every day.
Yeah.
She has days when she'll say she knows I have a favorite vegetarian restaurant, so
Mhm.
she'll order stuff from that restaurant.
Yeah.
But it is rare that Andrea leaves and she doesn't make sure that I've either eaten or I have a meal coming. She'll be on the other side of the city and she'll order something, and all of a
Always.
sudden I'll have a meal waiting for
Yeah.
me downstairs.
Always. I always like on top of okay. I leave, so then that not give me the time to cook. So I'm gonna order something for Andre, or I buy something for Andre. So yes, you guys. But that rushing and not to
Yeah, she's anxious. That's her mom. Her mom is just like that.
No.
She's that old school traditional. But as for me being Andre, I'm not waiting around for Andre if I'm hungry. When Andre gets home, then I'll eat. Andre already made breakfast,
yeah.
and Andre might be out and about taking care of some business for the family. I'm not about to sit up here. Andrea's taking care of business for the family, and I'm going to wait until she gets home later on that night. Just no,
A lot of Colombian men are like that.
I'm
a
going
lot.
to eat.
They test you. So what gonna eat? One gonna eat? You telling me have a delivery or a delivery, a hamburger? I don't know. I mean, result we call it in español, and I know that maybe your girlfriend is gonna tell you this word, resolver. Do
Come up with
something.
something, yeah.
Exactly. Have a solution. But don't wait for me. Oh, babe, what is my towel? Oh, babe, what is my shoes? Oh, babe, what clothes should I wear? That's Colombian man.
That's Colombian.
That's
dudes.
Colombian
They
men.
ask about
Absolutely.
everything because
Like a
the
little
mothers,
boy. Like a little
because
boy.
they're mothers.
And I
The
saw that
moms do
with my
that.
dad. My dad is sister. I know if thanks God my dad don't understand any English, because he will be kill me because I'm saying all the business out there. But my dad is still like that. What should I wear? What is my uniform? What is my pants? What is I say hell no. And I grew up like that. That's what I grew up like. Iron uniforms, iron my uniform, my brother uniform, cook since I was 11, because my dad taught me all those things. But I say the moment that I got married and I know that we are a team, and I'm not disagree to cook, to clean, to iron. I don't like iron. To wash clothes, to keep my house clean. I not disagree with that because I'm used to it, but I'm not gonna be never used to it to be the only one to do all those things in the house.
Right.
No, I
Right.
need a team. I need a teammate. Then my husband knows how to do this. Then my husband know how to iron. Then my husband wash the plate. Then my husband know how to wash the clothes. All those things, you guys. I mean, it's a teamwork. It's not just me because I'm the woman. No.
The other thing is, Andrea, the one word that Andrea does not like, partner. She does not like that word, partner. You can sit back and say teammate, you can say marriage, you can say couple, but when you're talking to Andrea, never use that word partner, because she doesn't look at it as a partnership, because she has her role in this marriage. I have my role in this marriage, and I have certain responsibilities that I need to focus on. Andrea has certain responsibilities that she focuses on, and then we have responsibilities that we focus on. So, and plus, I'm one of those people that sit back and if I see that something needs to be done, I'm not gonna sit around and wait till Andrea gets home to take care of it, dude. I'm just not like that. And
Yeah.
so some dudes can do that, they can pull that off, but that ain't me. If I see something that needs to be folded, if I see that I'm the last one getting out the bed, I'm not gonna wait until Andrea comes home and wait for her to make up the bed. I got out the bed earlier. Andrea's been gone. She might be going to the gym or something, but she can make the bed when she's get back home from the gym. She could, but I'm not gonna wait around. I'm the last one to get out the bed, so let me make the bed up.
But that's why when I met you, and that's what I tell this story, and that's you guys understand better the old ones and the new ones in this channel. You guys understand better why when I started meeting Andre, I didn't how to say how can I put it in English words, like had by your height or by your skin color or by your nationality or by your physical attraction. Is because I saw Andre cooking and cleaning and take care of his apartment. I say that's a teammate that I want in my life. A man who is totally independent, who is not waiting for me to do things. And that attracts me. Like my brain was like that, like with the like Homero got that. No, like the little light.
The light
turn
bulb.
on. Yeah, because I say, yeah, absolutely. I'm not gonna. I don't want to be like my. I got positive things about my mom that I keep for me to be a good wife, to be responsible, to be a traditional wife. You know, to be on top of everything in my house. Yes, but the other part to be the only one to clean, to cook. My dad cooks absolutely delicious. He actually cooks for Dre and some reunions, but he doesn't clean, he doesn't do this, he doesn't. But my dad is a little boy because my mom knows what my mom pick his clothes, his boxers, his pants, everything. And I
didn't know that.
Yeah, my mom always I told to my dad, I let you clothes. I showed you clothes. It's in the hanger. It's in, when my dad goes to a doctor's appointment with me, he said, I choose your clothes because I know, Andre is very, so because I would say, Dad, you're my dad. You got to represent me.
Right.
Absolutely.
You can't be coming around me with just a t-shirt on that.
So, and my mom say, and I got this from my mom. My mom say, you see a man got a wife because you can see it through how he looks, how you take care of your husband, And I say, yeah, that's true. Absolutely, that's true. But I'm not agree that he's like a little child. No. That's the thing that I'm not agree with. And I don't want that in my marriage or in my boyfriend. I don't want that. That's why, and my last live stream that about this story that I was ironing from to this guy. I say, I can do this. I can do this. No, like I'm gonna be acting like your mom. No, I'm sorry, but I can't do this. It's not my thing. It's not my energy. It's not Andrea. No. Okay, wait a second.
Shout out to Evan.
We got here that we here for the thank you for the
party being in the building.
He said, regardless of nationality, Men want only one thing from the woman, and that's absolutely true. Every guy say that. Peace. You have to. You have okay. You have that, and everything else can be dealt with.
That's a good way of putting it. That's so true.
That's so true. Bobby say, my dad works over 30 years. In that time, my mom volunteered
Volunteer it. Mhm.
volunteered 6 hours on my grandma's
Grandma.
school and take care of the house the rest. On the weekends my dad cook, def laundry, and he also a country boy.
Shout out to Dad.
Okay, Terry say, both of you do for each other.
True.
She won't ask to be the Superman, nor will you demand she be your slave.
Correct.
I know, because both to have your mutual respect for each other.
Correct.
Ben say, God bless you. Wait a second. I hate that word also, that we are either husband and wife or girlfriend and boyfriend, not partner. That's no sense.
So true.
Thank you, Ivan, for your donation. And he say, out of curiosity, what's your favorite city in Colombia? What do you plan to stay in Colombia for the rest? Okay. And do you plan to stay in Colombia for the rest of your life? Okay, I go first. My favorite city in Colombia outside of Cali, I will say that I like, oh boy. I don't have a favorite city. I like Cali. I like Cartagena to spend time, not to live. What's your so far?
Mine is favorite city, like just on the city side, just to see the views. I would say Medellin.
Okay.
Medellin. Take out the tourists, take out the pay for play, take
Oh
out the,
yeah, if
the
we remove
childishness. If you just
Yeah.
you're just looking at a city that you could just see that's futuristic architecture,
they got metro.
lot of the
That's a
metro,
really
the
good thing.
greenery,
Mhm.
the history. It is really, really a beautiful city. Andre and I, for you guys that don't know, Andre and I, when we go to other countries and go to other cities,
Mhm.
we do more in the day than at night.
Yeah.
We're not one of those couples that we're going to every city and we're going to party and club.
Yeah.
We're not tourists in our own country. So when we go somewhere, we might hit the nightlife, but it's kind of more like more of an adult experience compared to
Yeah.
let's put a local experience compared to going to spots where foreigners go.
Yeah.
We're not going to a hip hop club or Afro beats, even though we both like Afro beats and we both like hip hop. When we go to other locations, we're really trying to relax too.
Absolutely.
You notice that for the most part, when we go to other cities, we're kind of like, we've been working so hard. Let's just wind down and relax.
Yeah.
So we go to, for the most part, we'll go to small towns. We'll go to the coffee region a lot.
We love the coffee region.
Yeah,
That's a favorite spot in
yeah.
Colombia.
So we usually go in the coffee region. But as far as my favorite city, when I go there and see how modern it is and see how beautiful it is, it would be Medellin.
Medellin is beautiful.
Now, the second part to his question
The second part is, do you plan to stay in Colombia for the rest of your life? That's a half and half. That's in yes and no. Because Andrea and I would talk about this, that we, one of our dreams and plan is live outside of Colombia for a while.
True.
And our kids have the experience to live and have all the languages outside of Colombia and have the experience to travel and to see other cultures. Even before Madrid, that was always my dream, that my kids, have communication with different people around the world, that he can travel the world, that he can know more than 2 languages. And yes and no, because Colombia is always going to be our base. Why? Because guys, I still have my family here. And I told Dre, until my mom and dad, my brother still living here, I always feel connected to Colombia. Always, always, always. So always that's gonna be my base. If I don't have any family member here, probably not. Probably it's like I don't have nothing to do in Colombia, maybe because I don't have family. I don't have roots over there or have nieces, in the future or no. But my family lives here. So for me, it's important to even though that let's say that right now we're going to decide to live in Portugal, for example, I'm still connected to Colombia no matter what, and I still pay medical service here because we never know an emergency or treatment or dental work. Okay, I got my insurance in Colombia, so that's not any problem. But that's a response that I give.
Okay, my response is somewhat parallel to Andrea's because one of the things that you'll learn when you're a passport bro, gentlemen, is you don't owe one country anymore. I know many of us were raised to and programmed to think that you owe obligation to one country at a time. That's not true. As we travel, such as, for example, Taylor Made Dreams, he has a daughter in Thailand that a daughter in DR that he's dedicated to, but yet he lives in Thailand. So he's spending just as much time in DR, making sure his daughter is raised right, but he spends as much time for himself in Thailand. You don't have to just dedicate yourself or hold allegiance to just one country or even just one language. So in my case, as well as Andrea's, we both look at Colombia as our home base, our bat cave, like Batman had his bat cave. I don't have any family here in Colombia, and outside of Andrea's family, who are family to me, and yet and still I hold an allegiance as far as Colombia being a part of who I am. So we'll always have property here. We'll always be here one time or another throughout the year. Colombia is a place, for the most part, we'll be spending Christmases. For Colombia, it'll be the most part we'll be coming here for celebrations right around November and December every year. So we'll always have access to Colombia, even though we might be living in Spain, we might be living in Asia, we might be living in other parts of Europe, we might be living in Africa, we don't know, but we are making plans for it to what's going to be our next country. We already have family that's in Europe, and they're enjoying themselves there. And so when we go to Europe, we get a chance to
see the family
there. So we're not going to certain parts of the world by ourselves or feeling alone by ourselves. And the other reason why I want to live in another country, I do want Andrea to experience what we experience, such as you got Ronan Travels in the Philippines enjoying a whole new country. Some of you got T-Mac and J. Clyde in Colombia, such as I am, enjoying a whole new life in a whole new country. Andrea hasn't had a chance to experience that except for the travel part. We go to these places, but to experience what it's like to build a new life in a new country or a new continent, I want her to experience that too. So yes, we will not be in Colombia full time. And we talk about really soon, like we are now. Shout out to Jay Edwards being in the building.
So that's why,
girl.
I know. That's why you guys, we like to travel, because we got the chance to see if we feel comfortable to stay for a while in this side of the world, And I told Ray, for example, particularly me, I wouldn't say, or for example, let's speak up a country in Asia or in Australia. I said to Ray this. Why? Because an emergency happens, it took me around 2 days to come here, flying.
Shout out to Rico.
So I particularly I prefer Europe, because I know in the next day I'm gonna be in Colombia if an emergency happens. So you need to think about those things too. I just saying because I see other cases of ladies. They say my dad passed away and I couldn't be here on time to his funeral because it took me 2 days to come here. and they got the American visa and everything, but it's still is a lot of time to come to my country, for example, Mexico, in that case. So they say no, it's not an option when it comes to live in another country. Okay, Rico, thank you so much for being here.
Shout out to Reek
And we
again.
continue with the
Video.
yeah. Okay.
The first reason or conclusion that I could come to is the fact that we are in a modern society where we have a world full of modern women. These particular modern women are the opposite of traditional women. Okay? So what that means is men are looking for traditional women. And most men have always wanted traditional women. But because modern women were taught to go to school, you know, get their education, they were never taught to prioritize marriage, a man, or relationships. They were taught to go to school, get an education, take care of yourself because you don't need a man. So now that's created a society full of women who were only focused on getting to the bag. Their education, getting a job, taking care of themselves, not prioritizing a man. They weren't taught to focus on marriage, prioritizing a relationship, a man, a family, any of that.
Were women in Colombia taught to focus on men as far as marriage, family, children? Are women in Colombia, no matter even if you're a modern woman or if you're a traditional woman, are most women in Colombia taught to focus on the family?
Yeah. And like you said, like it was your question, even that they have a career, because now women nowadays in this generation, they say, I want to focus on my career. And it's still like, I want a family. I want a man, even though I make money, but I want a provider. And yeah, we got cases of modern women that they own businesses here. They make really good money. They got their own apartment, their own car, everything. And they are single at the age of 27, 28, 30. And they cry about it. And they say, I don't understand why I can't find a man. I don't understand why I've been single for the last 4 years. Baby, because you have been super demanding. I want this, I want that, that's why you're single. And if you want something, you need to be more, how do you say, babe?
Realistic?
Yeah, but more, I don't want to say give up. I want like more flexible. They use that word. More flexible. You know? Doesn't mean it's not the same like you know, not have or put down your standards. But I'm not saying that. But what you need to do is be more flexible. You know? And a lot of women here, I see them, and they're very beautiful women, but they feel sad, disappointed, depressing because they have been single for 4 years. They having intimacy, absolutely.
Of course, somebody smashing.
Absolutely.
Somebody
But they
smashing
say
them, but nobody want her.
men don't want to compromise. Maybe the problem is you.
Maybe.
That's what I said. Maybe the problem is you. You have been too demanding. You have been, I'm not good for you. That's why you're single. My boyfriend asked me to give me to prepare a cup of coffee, and I say, what? I'm not preparing any coffee. That's why you have been engaged twice and never get married.
Same thing in the States. I've
You
been
are
proposed to.
32. But what's going on that you always single? The problem is you, because you have, now that you Colombian, you beautiful, attractive, with career, making money, being viral, whatever.
Travel.
You got your apartment, your car, you're independent. But you got this modern woman mindset that I don't do anything for a man. That's where you're single. And a lot of Colombian women start thinking like that. A Spanish woman, South American woman. I'm not good for a man. You know, I mean, I can pay a man I don't need to cook. I'm not his servant. I'm not his slave. You know, they confuse the slave to traditional woman, and that's why you're single, because you have too much. It's much masculine energy. And a woman, and you say, and you tell me if I'm wrong. When a man see a real man, to see that woman have so much masculine energy, you just like, you know what? I'm out. I can do this. You can't be my competition.
No, we'll smash you and then we'll leave. You beautiful. We're gonna smash you. But yeah, we're gonna smash you a couple times. And a lot of women think because I'm smashing you, that must mean you like me. Fellas, put a 1 in the comment section. Let Andrea know. Have you ever had sex with a woman that you don't like? That you just smashed her?
I mean, you like her, you're attractive.
Yeah, you're attractive, but
yeah, you like, yeah, she's fine. But I feel like, okay, I like her personality. I can see me know her. That's the difference.
No, there are plenty of women. I haven't. Go ahead, guys. Put the ones in the comment section.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there are women that we know that we will not. We have no plans on introducing them to our mama. We have no plans on introducing to our dog. Chewbacca will never meet these women because we're not going to introduce them to Chewbacca. You know, it's just not going to happen. You saw those ones? Men will sleep with a woman. We do not like her. She's beautiful. We know we're going to get rid of her in a couple weeks, if not a couple days, if not in a couple hours. And once we're done, we're not going to call you again. You can sit back and talk about all the guys that were engaged to you, all the times that dudes got on one knee and asked you to marry. But men know, listen, girl, while you talking, did you take your panties off? Because I got to go feed my dogs.
I got to take my dog to the park.
I got to take my dog to the park. So we're going to get this sex out of the way. You can talk to me. You can tell me about your ex-boyfriend while we're having sex. You guys
are so independent of your emotions. That's why, as psychologists say, men got two things different compared to women. Imagine that this is a drawers. Sex is here and romance and love is here. Okay. It's completely different from a man. You know, men can have sex with you all the ways, do everything, say you a lot of things, say you I love you when you're having sex. But he not even feel it. Sex is here and love is here. For a woman, it's more emotional connection. For a woman, it's more like, I like you. I see you. Something's going on with you. Not like a toy boy. For most of the women, because I know there's a lot of women that they say, you know, it's just a toy boy and that's it. No romance, no feelings, no calls. That's it.
Yeah, so you see all the ones, right?
I know.
So that just goes to show you how these women are really sexing themselves out of the marketplace, because now you got all these sex partners, you got all this money, you got all these accomplishments, but nobody wants you in the long run. Why? Because you come with the masculine energy. And like you said, no man wants to spend the rest of his life in competition with the woman that he's supposed to be loving. He's got to compete with her as a couple. Then if they have kids, he's got to compete with her. So most men, like, you're beautiful enough to have sex. And I've said this to you before, and it just hurt your little heart. I told Andrea this. Most women don't realize that they are only good for sex. Most women are only good for sex. Most men know that most of the women that we're coming across in our lives, it might be, let's say we meet 100 women. Out of that 100 women, we all know that maybe 10 might make a girlfriend. We know in a lifetime, we might meet 3 that's wifey, right? We might meet, and I'm stretching that, might meet 3 that I'll say I could put a ring on those fingers. But men know not all 100 of y'all are wifey. No. And I mentioned that to Andrea, I think a couple weeks ago, and Andrea's heart was just looking broken, like, what? No, we don't see every woman as wifey. Men do not look at other women the way they look at you.
You know what? We now that I remember that we were discussing this
Mhm.
in bed, because I say it's so unfair that you guys be in a relationship for 8 years and never put a finger on it. And
ring
a
on the
lot of
finger.
women so hurt in therapy right now because they see videos of girls say, I met this dude 7 months ago or 1 year ago and he proposed to me. And a lot of women comment section say, I have been 4 years and my boyfriend say that we should wait. I've been with him 10 years and 2 kids and he never proposed. I was like, that is so unfair. That we start talking about this. That is so unfair. Why are you wasting your time? But also, Andre asked me, who is the fault? I say the woman. Because you see, you know, and you feel it as a woman, you know, he's not going to propose to you.
Ever.
But you are so in love with this dude, or you are so codependent emotionally that you can't process your life without him, and that's why you are in that relationship suffering, crying, feeling jealous of the woman, or feel frustrated because you see other women's engagement proposal or weddings, and you know that you're never going to have that.
And we know that we're never going to give it to you. Men know, babe, men know in the first 6 months whether I'm going to ask this person to marry me. And we know in the first 6 months, I will never ask this person to marry me.
That's what I comment, and women hate it. Women hate when I comment that.
Women act like this is the funny part about women. Y'all smart enough to get degrees, smart enough to start businesses, smart enough to buy houses and careers and raise kids. Then all of a sudden, y'all ain't smart enough to see that I don't want to marry you ever. I would tell an average woman, after 2 years, it's guaranteed I ain't about to marry you.
That's what I told Dre.
I am not going to marry you after 2 years.
Yeah,
that's not going to happen.
No, that's what I was super clear with you. Are we going to live together? Cool. You know that we're going to get married. And it's going to be ASAP. I'm not going to wait 2 years to get married. That's hell no. So let me know if you are, how do you say, agree with this, that we're going to get married. That's not, let me think, no, don't waste my time.
The funny part is she trying to be demanding with me when it came to marriage. I would have married Andrea 6 weeks in.
But I wanted to be clear.
Really, in all sincerity, I knew I was going to marry Andrea, man. It didn't take me 6 days.
Okay.
6 days of being around
after
Andrea,
that we hanging out, or when we were talking.
We went to the zoo.
Okay,
and we went to the museum, and it wasn't even just a date thing. It was how she carried herself as a woman, how she, from talking to her family dynamic. I checked out her family. I sat back. They confirmed everything that I already thought in 6 days. Her family, after the months, was confirming everything that I thought already after 6 days. So even though I hadn't met her family yet, I knew. So I was like, okay, let me wait, keep my mouth shut. Let me meet the family to make sure I'm seeing what I'm seeing, that she really a wife. And so when I met the family, and the more me and Andrea were around each other, it just confirmed everything I saw in 6 days, I wanted in 6 months. Therefore, I wasn't gonna wait no 6 years. So when Andrea started, I want to get married and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, girl, I'd have married you a few months back, girl. You talk about it.
Yeah, but you never say that.
I'm looking at her like, do you not realize you holding up the party?
Yeah, but he never said that. But I want to be very clear with Drake, because I don't want to waste my time.
And the way Andrea said it, it wasn't toward me that she was saying that. She was saying that with anybody she's with, she's not going to be wasting her time.
No.
Where a lot of women will hang out for 6-7 years.
No, hell no.
Andrea's like, I don't care if it's you or somebody else. I'm not about to burn time playing these games. Women will wait 9 years and then decide to leave.
No.
But like I said, I'd have met Andrea, man. I already knew after 6 days, man. It don't take men long. We have been with so many women, we can tell who is wifey, who is girlfriend, who gets in the friend zone. You know, that's the one that gets smashed every once in a while. Who becomes a real friend, and who are the few women that you meet that are wifey. They don't come along that often, so when you see them, you know them. Any man that sits back and says that he didn't know that this was true wifey, he lying. Any man that got married to a woman that he knew she wasn't a wife, but you married her anyway, you lying if you said that you didn't know that she wasn't wifey. Now, she may not have been wifey for you, but she did hold wifey qualities. But some of these dudes will marry a woman ain't got no wifey qualities at all, but since she's so attractive, they'll marry her, and then when she shows you she's not wifey, then you're looking crazy. Like Andrea, you know, a lot of times I'll make the cups or get the drinks ready when Andrea's doing her show. A lot of times Andrea will make the coffee when we're doing the show. Since I knew those qualities in Andrea, I said, okay, cool. These are the type of qualities that I'm looking for in a wife. So Andrea, right out the gate, having wifey qualities in 6 days showed me that she is a wife within 6 days. Hadn't met her family yet, hadn't met anything to confirm it, but she showed qualities that were completely different from others. That's what makes Andrea stand out from all the other people that I came across here in Colombia and the States and things like that. But to sit back and, I don't want to sound like I'm rambling, but just to sit back and just, you know, pretend like every woman is a wife, babe. I hate to say it, but most women, I'll say easily 80 to 90. Okay, let me ask you guys. Shout out to Alexis. Let Andrea read that comment in a second. What percentage of women that you guys have come across in your life were wifey material? What percentage of women would you say? 5%, 3%? I'll easily, for me, it's 3%. If you line up 100 women in my life, I can easily say only 3 women. Kelvin said 5%.
A tree.
3%. True. Out of every 100 women that we've either met, dated, had sex with, hung out with, had a relationship with, whatever it is, most women do not qualify to be wives. If it was that easy to be a wife, then it would be more wives. Most women don't realize that 1%. Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, that's the part. That's the part. Like I comment that because I talked to Dre and you guys I know talk about it, and a lot of guys on social media say, listen, stop waste your time with your boyfriend for 7 years. He's never going to propose. Ever. If you want to be a wife, if that's your dream, don't waste your time because he's never going to propose. Us men, we already know in days that I want you as my wife or as my girlfriend, but don't waste your time. And other women made this excuse. Marriage doesn't mean anything. It's just a paper. It's just a contract. It doesn't mean anything. No, sweetie, it means a lot. It means a lot. Because you have decisions over your husband in case something happens to him. You are the wife. You are the only one who could take decision. You know? In legal ways, it's so many difference, you know, when you are his girlfriend. And I told this to Drake. When you are married with someone, you know that divorce is the last thing. Like, you know what? It's not gonna work. But you're trying. You go into therapy. You try different options. You're trying to make this work. You know, and the last thing is a divorce. But I see a lot of cases are here. You know, Colombia is a big common law country. That you say, you know what? I don't want to live with you. Try the things, and that's it. That's done. And the other one is suffering, is under pain. It's like, we're not gonna fight for this. We're gonna No, I pack my things and I leave, and that's it. So when it comes to marriage, there's even lawyers, they say that's the difference. You say that marriage is not important, it is important.
Yeah, that's so true. Shout out to my man, to all you guys on the Cash App, showing some love over here. Shout out to my man Necro with the $5 love. My man Blade Runner in the building with the $5 love. And Christopher Brown of the Brown family. Shout out to all you guys for the love that you show over on the Cash App. We appreciate you guys.
We got an interesting comment from T Mac, and he said, I have to up my standards as well, because even though I was comfortable to spend time for the past 2 years with my girlfriend, she is a not wife material. She is peaceful, but have no example in her family.
And a lot of times we as men don't want to admit that we're with somebody for so many years that will never be a wife. You gotta, dudes, women pride themselves and call themselves picky. Men, we gotta be picky and know when to let go. A lot of dudes don't know when to let go of a woman that ain't wifey. So you can go find, I'm talking about the guys that are looking for wifey. I'm not talking about everybody else. But I'm gonna say this in my case. I had to let go of people in my life that didn't have wifey qualities in order to be in a position to meet a woman with wifey qualities. You see how I did that? I had to let go of the ones that were beautiful, they were fun, they're intimate, they're cool, but they weren't wifey. And when I was at the point I'm looking for a wifey, they weren't it. So they had to get deleted. This is a true story that I'm telling you. I'm not saying this by example. This is a true story. Mm-hmm. Once I cleared my mind and my phone of women that weren't wifey, guess what the universe gave me? Wifey. You dudes trying to keep hanging on to these women that aren't wifey because she cool, she fun, she nice. I know her people, I know her kids, blah, 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 blah. She out of the country, she spoiled me, she can cook good. If she's all that, how come she ain't got no ring?
Absolutely.
I'm talking about to you guys that are looking for a wife. I'm not talking to you other guys. If she's all that, how come she ain't getting no ring? As men, we know it don't take that long to know if she's wifey. So therefore, you just burning your time with a woman
exactly
that you know you will never, ever put a ring on her finger.
Absolutely. They don't want to hear the reality.
No.
Larry say, Andrea and Andrea, I was with my ex for several months. When I saw that she was not going to be a wife material for me, I have to let her go.
Yeah.
A lot of guys are super selfish because they know
she's not wifey.
She's not wifey, but I keep her. And as a woman, you're a little dummy because you know that there's never gonna be a ring in the middle, and that's the part the woman hate, especially in Colombia. They hate when I open my mouth and I say, it's so funny to hear you girls or women that call he is my husband or introduce yourself as I'm his wife. Where's the ring? You married legally? No, we live together. So you are his girlfriend? No, he's my husband because we live together. So you are his partner. They hate they were partner. But that's why you guys are roommates, maybe. Because how can you call like he is my husband? Okay, where's the marriage?
Andrea, just to let you guys know, Andrea is a TikTok villain. Andrea got comments with like 70,000 comments, dog. I'm gonna say this again.
Yeah.
Andrea got comments with 70,000 comments on one thing that she said in a comment section. Yeah. So when I say Andrea is a TikTok villain, she be knowing what she's saying. She knows she about to hurt some hearts. But she gonna go and put it in there anyway.
You gotta wake up, girl, like for real.
She gonna go and put it in there anyway.
Yeah, you're never gonna get that ring. That's Andrea. You're never gonna get that ring. you know you're gonna be waiting and waiting and waiting. You're never gonna get that ring. 8 years? Hell no.
Yeah.
No. I see that we're not with this relationship is not gonna be something big in the future, like live together, because I'm never gonna be engaged with that, because we live together for several months and then we got married, but we already know that we're gonna get married. That's absolutely in the middle. But if I don't see the compromise, or that was Andre in the past, I don't see the compromise, the future, that a wedding or a marriage, I'm not gonna waste my time. And that was me in the back in the day. I'm not gonna waste my time with you. If I don't see the compromise, no. And you know, I know that we never talk about the past, but one time I do say, Andrea, I can give you a house, I can give you this, I can give you the ring, you know. Okay, good. What is the wedding? What is the marriage? At least the marriage. I don't care the wedding, the marriage. I don't want to get married, so this is done. I want to be a wife. I want to have a husband, but not say with words, you know. No, I don't be like this type of woman. Like, he is my husband, but we're not married. No, but we have been together 14 years. You're not his wife. You are the mother of his kids, but you're not his wife. And I don't want to be that. I want to be a wife, a legally wife.
The other thing that I like that comment, Bobby, the in vogue comment, never gonna get it, 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 she'll never get it. Okay. One of the things, and this is my first time saying this to you guys. I've said this to Andrea, but I haven't said this to you guys before. One of the signs of why I married Andrea, or one of the signs that I would look for somebody, I wanted somebody that would be parallel to me if I have it or if I don't. For many of us, we will have somebody in our lives for 9 years when we're just making average money. And she's great for average money. You're making good money, your kids, you got a house. This woman is perfect for average money. But you guys know deep down in your heart, you will not always be making average money. And you know deep in your heart the reason why you're not marrying her, because she not built for when you got money. I looked for a wife that would be parallel to Andre if I was flat broke, or parallel to Andre if I was a multi-millionaire.
I'm gonna get more coffee. I'm back for a second, guys.
Andre's about to grab some more. Okay, thank you, babe.
Okay. I got a lot to say that what you saying.
And I'll remember that. And I mean that, guys. Let me ask you guys this. Can you see Andre and I together if I didn't have a penny? But can you still see Andre and I together the way she carries herself if I was a multi-millionaire? If I was Elmer J. Fudd, millionaire, I own a mansion and a yacht. If I was Elmer J. Fudd, millionaire, I own a mansion and a yacht, right? Can you guys see me and Andre together if I was a multi-millionaire? Can you see us together as a couple the way that she carries herself? You see where I'm going with that? Okay.
Okay.
That's one of the things I looked for when I was looking for a wife. I didn't need a woman to be in my life for the level I was either on or the middle of, but couldn't qualify once I got to a certain level. Some women you can only take to the club. You can't take to a fundraiser. Some women you can take to a party, but you can't take her to the ballet. You can't take her to the symphony. You can't take her golfing. You can't take her to a 5-star restaurant. Some guys come to Colombia and the woman that you deal with often is only good for the level of getting an arepa. See what I'm saying? She good for, a mom and pop restaurant. But if you take her to an expensive restaurant, she don't even have a dress to wear to go to that spot. So I purposely did that. And I want to hear what Andre has to say. I purposely made sure that I have a wife that no matter what stage of life I'm in, we are parallel, we look parallel, we behave parallel to the level of life that we're on. Were you about to say, babe?
No, yeah, what you say is true. What you said is true. I mean, that's why when you get married, they say in the, how do you say it? In the, we call in
The
la
vows?
riqueza, in the bowl, like riqueza y pobreza and all of that. But that's what I saw. You say in more in the finances,
Mhm.
you know, and I saw more in the emotional. In something happens in a marriage, we're going to a crisis. Is he allowed, or he is ready to be there to support me? He's ready to understand my emotions. He's ready to understand why I got some problems, you know, or in a family, you know. He's ready to be there, or he's gonna be there just in the funny moments, or in the good moments, or in the trouble moments. No, I see more in that case, you know. But here we got an interesting comment. Let me go here. Here, like you say, never get a legal marriage. That is the opening for a divorce, and they have all your stuff. That is more common in the States. Andre and I would discuss this a lot. And Andre asked me years ago, like, for example, we got a truck. The truck is under my name
Mhm.
and the legal registration. Andrea asked me, so Andrea, in the property card, my name is not on it. And I say, doesn't matter.
Let's lay a foundation. At that time period, I didn't have my driver's license yet.
Mhm.
This was 2020 during COVID. We got a great deal on our vehicle.
Mhm.
But before we purchased the vehicle, I wanted to know where I legally stood, because I didn't know all the laws of Colombia. I wanted to know legally where I stood with the what ifs. So now Andrea is going to tell you what answer she gave me when I said when it comes to any
Okay.
property that we own as a couple.
But especially a car, it just allow you one owner, one property owner in the registration, the legal registration. And it's on my name. And I say, Andre, doesn't matter if it is under my name. In case, I put that out there, in case, because we never signed a prenup or nothing like that when we got married. But in Colombia, it works like this. In case that we get divorced, even the car, it belongs to you too. Even the car is part, like, but we sell it is half for you, half for me. Even that it is under my name, everything that we purchase, if we got a house, we got a condo, we got a business registration, we got more cars, more properties, everything is half and half, right? It's not just because we marry, everything is for me and belongs. No, in Colombia, it doesn't work like that. In Colombia, we have prenups. Yes, absolutely. But everything that you have in when you purchase before you get married, or before before you get married, it belongs to you. After you got married in the unión marital, that we call in Spanish, and after the everything that you guys get in the unión marital, under the marriage, that is half and half. Before, you can have millions of businesses in the States, you can own Airbnbs in the States, car in the States. Your wife, you can sign a prenup. Yes, you can do it, absolutely. Here in Colombia, if you want it, that's not any problem. But by law, nothing is for your wife in case of divorce.
Correct.
Nothing.
Correct.
Nothing.
Anything that you have prior to the marriage is still all yours. It's not like the States. I'll say that again. In the States, you marry somebody, she can get 50% of everything that you work for. That's not here in Colombia. Here in Colombia, you only split
Split.
what you acquired in the marriage.
In the marriage.
In the marriage, that's it. Anything that's out, Andre could come in with millions. I can't get any of that money.
Mhm.
For example, our homes, our apartments are in Andre's name.
Mhm.
So I could easily, in the States, I could easily be like, well, the furniture is in mine, this mine, that's mine, that's in the States. Here in Colombia, it doesn't matter. If we acquired all the furnishing in this home together, it is split down the middle as far as selling and liquidating, as far as selling
Liquidar,
and having the
los
money.
bienes, sí.
The same thing with our vehicles, same thing with investments, anything
Mhm.
that we have.
Everything, even bank accounts.
But right.
Yeah,
That's like I said.
Yeah.
But anything that is prior
Everything.
to the marriage, that's still all yours.
Yeah.
To whereas in the States, a woman can take 50% of what you
Already have.
That's
the difference. Even here, thank you, Black Cleaner. Thank you so much. What
No
is it?
Shadan.
Yeah, what is it?
Shadan, just a bottle of.
No Shadan, just a bottle of Indian. What's that?
I wouldn't know. I don't know.
I don't
Hey,
know.
Black Cleaner, let us know what that is.
You even need a prenup in Colombia in case that you want it, but it's not a must.
No.
In case that you want it, yeah. But here, even though there's some Colombians that got married, but they like, yeah, I want everything. I want all. No. And he say in the States the laws vary. Okay, the laws vary by state. In California, only things acquired during the marriage are community property unless you show separation of assets or separación de bienes.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's the same thing in here in Colombia. It's the same thing here in Colombia. So that's why when Andre asked me that, like, but I'm not, babe, doesn't matter. That truck, we got that truck in our marriage. Well, we are married. So it belongs to both. So everything that we got right now is belong to both. Everything. Everything. So it's not like it's my, no. That's not how it works here. And if you go into a notary, you go into a lawyer, he's gonna explain you the same thing. I'm gonna watch out the water.
Okay. And then even here in Colombia, for those of you that know about divorce in Colombia, there are certain steps that you have to take. Even in the divorce proceeding, you got to go to a notary to get this done. It takes a certain amount of time. There's a grace period between I forget what it is, a year or 2 years. So even if we were to file for a divorce, we have to fill out a divorce decree, get it notarized, wait, I think it's a year to 2 years, just in case we change our minds. And then we go forward with the divorce. That's how it is here in Colombia. It is not like in the States where we just go into court and da-da-da-da-da. Well, do realize the average divorce in the United States takes 7 years. I'll say that again. A lot of people don't know that. The average divorce in the States, so the attorney and judges and everybody else can get their money, takes 7 years. So a lot of times, Colombia is even faster, even though you have to do that separation decree first. T-Mac says this: I just did an agreement with my recent ex-wife. She's from Japan. She's from Japan, so she doesn't want to fight. I wrote an agreement to pay her living expenses until our daughter turns 18. So she lives in a $1 million house. There we go. So at the end of the day, a lot of times you can make certain agreements. And of course, like he says, it's a California thing. He lives in LA. Yeah. You didn't know that? Yeah. In the United States, it takes 7 years. How long y'all thought it? Thank you, baby. How long y'all? Oh, that coffee smells good. How long you guys think it took for a divorce? Yes. In the United States, it takes 7 years for the average. Yeah. For the average divorce.
Oh, hell no.
To go through. You guys can look it up.
Hell no.
You could. I was blown away when I heard
I'm
that
not
one.
going for that.
Yep. It takes an average of 3 to 7 years in the United States to get a divorce. And the judges and the attorneys try to make as much money as possible, so they're going to kind of drag it out.
Okay, in Colombia, there's a new law, the law 2442 of 2024 say that this new one,
No fault.
that divorce in Colombia could be, how do you say,
fault.
unilateral, means that, let's say,
You both agree?
no,
Oh,
that
oh,
I
that's
want
why
to
I said
get,
no
that I
fault.
want to,
Yeah, no fault.
yeah, I want to get divorced with you for no reason. I can
Right,
do
no
it.
fault.
In Colombia, there's a new law from last year.
Yeah, they just came out the no fault laws here in Colombia.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a good thing in one reason. You know that in Colombia we got a lot of cases of feminicide
A lot.
because the woman wants to get divorced, the woman wants to be free, the woman has been violated or abused in her marriage, and she can. And the husband always, or a lot of husbands, and I know a lot of wives, they are so evil and selfish that they say, I'm not gonna give you the divorce. I'm not gonna give you the divorce. And that's true, like, I'm not gonna give you the divorce. I'm not gonna sign any document. Now with this new law, I don't wanna be with you. I don't love you. You are a bad husband or you are a bad wife. I just get a divorce. So in that case, I'm agree. I'm totally agree.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, in that case, I'm agree. Yeah, when it's a really toxic relationship or marriage, they both can stand each other. They both are rude, or they both are being aggressive. No, just like file for the divorce. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Let's continue on with the video.
Yeah, we almost have been 2 hours.
I know, right?
No,
Almost
2.5
hours.
Oh my God.
Shout out to you guys being here. Thank you for supporting the channel. Let's go back to the video. We haven't even made it past the first 5 minutes of the video. We may have to bring this one back. Let's go back here.
I just thought that, hey, we're doing what we're supposed to do. This is what our grandmothers, this is what our mothers told us. Hey, go to school, live your life, have your fun in your 20s, go to school, get your education, and take care of yourself so you can have something to fall back on and you don't need a man. So fast forward, here we are. We have a world full of modern women who are independent entrepreneurs, boss chicks, who are getting to the bag. They don't need no man, right? But for a lot of these women, this entrepreneur, boss chick, independent woman lifestyle is not working out the way they planned. Because when you choose that, that means there's a chance, a big chance that you may not ever get married. You may not ever have that family structure, that home, that 2-parent home. The majority of these women become single mothers because during that, have your fun in your 20s stage, they're having sex. Right? And you're going through multiple different relationships, but not understanding that men value certain things when they're looking for a wife.
You see how nice she made that? She said in their 20s, they're having sex. They're going through multiple different relationships. No, boo. In their 20s, they just having sex. Don't call sex relationships. Men know this is not a relationship. I'm only having sex with you. Stop trying to pretend. Women will sugarcoat it and make it nice. We're having multiple relationships. No, you got a bunch of dudes that you've been running through and been running through you. That's what that is.
See, these women who had fun in their 20s, and then when they hit their 30s and 40s, they were not prepared for that because nobody told you what hitting the wall looks like. A lot of women mess up because now, don't prioritize a man, but you still end up with one. You still end up caring for somebody or loving somebody, get in a relationship with somebody, but it's not your husband. It's nothing that's long term. So what happens? You end up having several different relationships that you deem toxic, and you and your heart is broken, and you've gone through this and that and that. And so what it does, it's giving you a negative experience in life when it comes to relationships, even though you were not prepared for that. You were told to have your fun, just have your fun and get your education and take care of yourself. You were never taught how to be in a relationship. You were never taught how to treat a man, how to love a man. So you still end up in relationships that fail over and over and over again. Also, going forward, we really need to stop trying to shame men into accepting something that they just don't want. And women have.
Before she goes any further, that was a good statement she made. They were never taught to love a man. They were never taught to appreciate a man and be there for the family. Here in Colombia, do you find that most of the women that are, I'm Miss Success, I got my businesses, I got my degrees, I got my cars, my apartments, do you find more women that weren't raised traditionally to talk like I'm Miss Independent compared to traditional women? In other words, let me say this again.
Yeah, please put in order.
Do you think that it's mostly women that were not raised by their dads in Colombia that are saying, I don't need no man, I'm independent, I don't need this, I don't need that? Even though you say Colombian women don't normally say I don't need no man, but I'm Miss Independent and I got this, but I'm lonely. Were these women even taught? They're lonely, but were they even taught to be a wife? They were taught to be successful. They were taught to get that money. They were taught how to get a car, an apartment.
Yeah.
But do you find here in Colombia, the women that are successful like that, many of them weren't taught to be a wife once they became successful?
All right, let me understand.
Take it all in.
Exactly. Now, Andrea always made a long questions, but here we got two cases. We got the woman that has been raised just by the mama,
Right.
not have any that figure in the family or in their life,
Right.
and a lot of them they can keep a relationship.
They can't.
They can't. A lot of them they can keep a relationship because they afraid to compromise. They don't know how to be a wife or have to keep a man because they never have a main figure in their life, raised by a single mom. The other part, this modern Colombian woman, is because they have been too spoiled by their dad. That give you car, that give you the career, that give you the apartment, which is not bad. I mean, it's not bad at all. But they are too spoiled that they think all men are like my dad. It's not like that. You need to wake up to the reality. So a lot of women, they're very spoiled by their dad. So that's part and part, you know?
Okay.
And they are too demanding because I want this, that, and I'm not going to give up to my independency. I'm not going to give up to my job. My job is my everything. So boo, that's why you're single. Because in a relationship, yeah, your job is important. It's very important. But the family that is the coffee, the family that you created is more important for you. It's the most important, let's say, company, because a marriage, a family is like a company. You need to be the manager. You need to know about finances. You need to know relationships, everything. So it's the most important company. I heard that for a wife.
Right.
She say the family is the most important company in your life. Your husband and your kids. Your house.
I got a statement for you that I want to hear what you have to say.
I hope that I answered.
You did
well.
perfectly.
Okay.
Perfectly, even better than I thought. Women aren't getting the bag. Most of them are poor. Are you talking about in Colombia? Are you talking about in the States? If you're talking about, because we're talking about, I don't care about what happens in the States. Really don't care. On this channel, guys, whenever you hear us talk about a topic, we kind of take it to an international scale. So we're watching the videos.
You say in America.
Okay, we don't care. We don't care. Whenever you guys see us do videos or video reactions, remember, we're putting an international twist on it to give you understanding from the perspective from life abroad. We could care less about what's happening to men and women in the United States as far as relationships. Why? We're not being mean. It's just that we don't live in the States.
Mhm.
Just like I always say, we don't care about how men and women in Greece relationships are
Mhm.
going. Why? Because we don't live in Greece. We're not being mean.
Exactly. We're not part of the culture.
Yeah. So, and let's put it like this. Even if I lived in the States and I had a YouTube channel, you would never hear me talk about the impoverished woman and what she goes through anyway. You guys will never hear me. There are enough YouTube channels out here in Colombia that will introduce you to all the poor Colombian women that are sexy that you want, right? You don't need us for that. Whenever you on Love Crossing Borders, we're never talking about the poor women in the States or the poor women in South America. Why? Because we only talk about quality men and women on this channel. It's not about economics only. It's not about who has what. But on this channel, guaranteed, soon as you turn on Love Crossing Borders, when we have a discussion, we're never talking about the impoverished woman or the impoverished man. We're always talking about quality character, mindset, goals, standards. Those are the things that we talk about on this channel. So you guys can always be comfortable with when Andre and Andre are talking. They are not talking about the broke sister from the hood, and we're not talking about the broke chica in DR and Sosua. We could care less about those people. We may warn you about those people. We may use them as examples. But since you guys are quality men, we could care less. You know who we got that from? Kevin Samuels. Kevin Samuels only talked about, well, ladies, if you don't qualify as a quality woman for a high value man, you disqualify for that anyway. What's your dress size? What's your height? What about this? What about that? He wants to see if they were even qualified for the conversation. Same thing he did with the men. That's the same thing that we do here. If it's not a quality person, they don't even qualify for a conversation on Love Crossing Borders.
Okay. Binda will say, thank you so much for your donation. Sounds like the States. Yep. And Black, thank you so much for your donation too. He said hypergamy or hypergamia. If she's same or equal to you, she thinks she's over you because she's capable. Okay.
Or able.
Okay, able, better, of getting access to higher in caliber men
or quality men. Yeah.
Okay, for example, it's Louis Lane.
Y'all gonna quit it. Y'all be putting names out there as if we supposed to be knowing these people.
I know.
We love y'all, but we live in South America, not North America. Hey, Dre, you ain't up on
no.
I try to tell y'all all the time. I literally cut the umbilical cord of the United States as far as knowing what's going on a daily basis. I haven't heard a Beyonce song in 5 years, gentlemen. Andre listens to more modern hip hop than I do. Andre can tell you more about some of the modern this or that that's going on in the States than I do. And that's my country. I love the United States. But when I left, snip. So a lot of the names that you guys throw out there, sometimes I don't get the joke or I don't get the statement because I don't know who that person is. Some of y'all most famous people in the States right now, I can walk past, wouldn't even recognize them, wouldn't even recognize them. I could say easily 80% of the people that you get, your television stars, movie stars, you got to be really big for me to actually have been exposed to you over the last 7 to 9 years, because I don't keep up with what's going on in the States.
Okay, we got 2 interesting comments right here talking about this subject. Tima say it's a balance, like I always say, life is a balance. I don't want my daughters to rely on a man, but I also want them to be happy. My daughter is 13 and buys stocks in crypto. She has been an investor since age 5, which is good. And I'm gonna give my opinion about this. And okay, we got another one, and he said, "Is this spoiled by the father, company exclusive to the economic position of the father? If she raised in a higher strata or strato, is she more likely to have been spoiled by the father? Okay, you guys. What happened when I say this? That part of the group is girls that have been spoiled by their family, especially fathers, because a lot of fathers say you don't need a man. They start to raise a daughters, and she was 5. You got your apartment, you got your career, you are independent, you travel the world. You don't need a man. You don't need to be how do you say, to men pay your things, because you are independent woman. So little mama, like Andre said, little mama start growing up in high school, college, graduation. I don't need any man. I work for myself. I don't need any man. To start having that modern mindset. That's the difference. Okay, that's the difference. What you T Mag was saying, it's good to spoil your kids. I mean, we when we have kids, we want to spoil our kids in the sense like teach them to have a finances, like how to invest, how to own your own things. But also it's very important, also no, it's very important your emotional life, your personal life, you know, traditional man, traditional wife. You know, you see your dad how he is, you see your mom how she is. Even though that your mom got a career and everything, she cares about the family, and the family is number one thing in her life. Know the company, know the businesses, know the this independent mindset. You know what I mean? So so for example, in Colombia, there's a lot of families, like I said before, they say, I want you to have a career, I want that you have your job, I want that you have skills. You know, in the case that you get married, you got your kids, and in case in something happened, you get divorced or separate from your man, you got the skills, you got a career, you know. But I'm not, but fathers, for example, my father never like, you're gonna be independent woman and you don't need any man. I'm the last woman to say that, because I always need a man. I need my brother to repair my car. I need my dad to give me that father figure in my life. And that's why I got my husband. So that I don't need a man, that's BS. That's completely BS. And there's a tons of videos like, okay, you girls say you don't need a man. Okay, change it, or drive a trailer, or change a tire, or build buildings. Do it. I don't need a man. That's BS. You always need a man. You always need a man.
This is the funny part about fathers that raise their daughters to be so independent. They will be the same. Because I'll say this, it could be a little hypocritical. Dads, hear me out. They will be the same ones when that girl hits 26. Where's my granddaughter? Where's my grandson? Where's my 29? Where's my daughter? Where my granddaughter? Where my grand? Them the same ones that told her she independent. You don't need no man. Here's the money. I got your back. Blah, 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 blah. And as soon as she hit 26, 27, 31, 32,
it starts.
Every day, those are the same dads or aunties or mamas that are pressuring that woman to either get married or have children and or have children. And they rather have it in a marriage, because that's what they did. Well, we had her in a marriage.
Yeah.
We raised her in a marriage. We want her to have children in a marriage. So, okay, mom and dad, you taught me to be independent, but you never taught me how to be a wife. But you want me to go out there and be somebody that you never taught me to be.
And that you crying on TikTok. I don't know why I've been 5 years single. I don't know why any man wants to compromise.
And that's
because daddy have been spoiled you too. That's all the part of the story. Daddy has been spoiled you too much. And mama and daddy tell you that you are Miss Independent. Now they're asking you, family, social, society, tell you, your rice is burning. That's what we say. Your rice is burning up.
I love that.
We call all the ones to say the train. How do you say the train is passing? Is leaving or something?
Train is leaving.
Yeah, exactly. Because you're 27, you don't even have a boyfriend. Oh my God, that's a big house in Colombia.
Because men think, okay, you own this, you own that, you've been here, you've been there, and you say you haven't had a man in 4 years. Now we all know men think automatically you have been having sex in 4 years, even though we don't ask. So you've been getting smashed. So what is it about you that the dudes that this is how men think?
Mhm.
What is it about you that in 4 years and you haven't been celibate? What is it about you, Miss Successful, that men have that been smashing you have not wanted to have a relationship with you? That's what we think about. You gorgeous, you sexy, you successful, da da da. Wow, girl, you look so good. But then at the same time, we're thinking like, so why did none of these dudes that smashed you in 4 years, why they ain't boo you up?
Yeah, absolutely. Say, I want my daughter to decide to get married because she loves someone, but not out of the desperation or need to rely on a man financially. She will also apply for a Colombian citizen next year with me.
That's what's up. The one thing that I would say if it were me, and I'm not telling any man how to raise their child, I would, in our case,
Mhm.
we want our children to, just like T-Mac, to be fiscally aware,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
But we also want to do like Andrea's dad did and prepare her to be a wife. Not assume that being in love will make her a wife. And we often do that as fathers.
Mhm.
We think that as long as she's in love with him and he's in love with her, she'll suddenly be qualified as a wife.
Mhm.
No, she can be wonderfully in love,
Mhm.
successful in all the land that she surveys. She's the queen. But if that queen was never raised and prepared like Andrea was from the age of 11 years old, even though Andrea got her degrees and started her career and still is working, still Andrea was raised the balance of the two to be a successful woman and to be a wife. Some of us raise women that are successful, but we assume that if she's in love, she's gonna make a good wife. No, she knows nothing about wifehood, nothing, except for the I'm in love part. And the dude falls out of love or cheats on her with a side chick with wife qualities.
Yeah, because they never, mom and dad never taught about those things. Mom and dad never taught about to build a house.
Yeah.
To build a marriage.
Yeah.
And that's why, and that's one of the principal reasons why a lot of marriage, after 1 or 2 years, they failed.
Yeah.
And now they're using this excuse, all because you can't be with someone if you're not in love, all because now women, they don't pass any little mistake. No, the thing is, what I think about this is because you don't have the enough maturity to fight for your marriage. There's a lot. If you get married, if you pass the in love area, or whatever, you know that you need to be prepared to see the real husband that you have or the real wife that you have, and when a lot of couples, when they see that, like, oh, okay, this is not the woman that I met before, this is not the woman that I proposed, now they fail for the marriage, and now they say that marriage in this society is like express mail marriage, because these lashes, express marriage. They don't fight in finances, in she or he got a depression or lost a family member, or have an accident, or the lifestyle change. So the quick answer, the quick solution is, I'm gonna divorce. That's it. It's not my problem. Figure it out yourself. So I see it, this express marriage, like that. They don't fight for marriage anymore.
One thing that Andrea and I do, and that's a great point. One thing that Andrea and I do in our marriage is, there's a saying this too shall pass. Paul in the book of Philippians says, he said, just to paraphrase, hey, I've had some horrible times preaching Jesus. Horrible times in the book of Philippians in the Bible. I've had some wonderful times. Paul said, forgetting those things that are past, I'm not letting good times dictate my life. I'm not letting my past bad times dictate my life. Why? Because these too shall pass. There are times in Andrea and I marriage, we're going to have some great moments. We're going to be blessed in this way or blessed in that way. There'll be other times in our marriage that blessed moment is going to pass. It may be in 2 days. It may be in 20 years that there's blessings on blessings on blessings. And all of a sudden it veers off. But that moment of good things will pass. Mm-hmm. Then the moments of bad or tempestuous or challenging things happen. We know that every day in marriage is not going to be wonderful. It may be 6 months. It may be a year of a challenging moment, but we know this too shall pass. Then you're back in the good moments, right? But we're wise enough to know these good moments, once again, will pass. So our fight for our marriage is we know that the good times come, that's going to pass. The bad times come, that's going to pass. And then the good times will come again, and that's going to pass. And then the bad times come again, and then that's marriage. This too shall. Don't ever think that in your marriage that if you have 6 years of prosperity, that life is not going to test you like the book of Job. It's not going to test you by taking away everything and see how you and your marriage is going to work. Mm-hmm. And then what happened with Job? He got blessed with more. In other words, the bad times passed. Mm-hmm. He got blessed with more. Yeah. If you're not built for a relationship and you think that everything is supposed to be always good, that's why divorces happen. Not because everything is bad, but because you always expect everything to be good. Go ahead.
And another thing is just like, that's why, like a T-Mac say, it's a balance.
Yeah,
it's good to, it's good to, for example, have your family support, her family support. That's good, absolutely. But every time that you got to fight or every time that you got a disagreement, you're going to run into your mommy or you're going to run into your daddy like a savior, or talk to your family, everything that happens in your marriage, which is, I mean, I discussed with Dre about this. I'm very close to my family, to my parents especially. And there's a lot of things that my mom, and I understand, I'm not even asked, that my mom deal with my dad in privacy. And I said, I'm not asking you because I'm never into your guys' marriage. It's one thing your relationship has a parents, and another thing has a marriage couple. It's not my business. And I'm not there, you know, because seriously, it's not my thing to opinion, you know, it's your guy's decision. It's the same with me and Andre. It's so many things that Andre, we have been disagree, or we got discussions and everything. And even though I don't come into you guys, because that is indoor, is privacy, is part of a marriage. And I know there's a lot of women, a lot of wives, and a lot of husbands that they're still like super codependent to the parents. Like, my wife did this, like a little kids do. You need to assume that you are a husband right now, and a wife. You need to assume that you are a wife. You're not a daddy's little girl anymore. You don't. You gotta assume and step up and to face the problem.
Moni's not a little girl anymore?
Oh, my dad always seemed like a little
Orlando.
girl. My dad always.
That's my dog. But it took Orlando, what, 2 years?
2 years to what?
To not, it took him 2 years to realize that his little girl was no longer a little girl after we got married.
He still see me like a little girl.
Moni.
I'm not a mother, so
Moni. Oh my goodness. Orlando was like, we're sharing her love. I kid you not. In the beginning, Orlando like, we're sharing her love. I'm like, no, she's mine now, Orlando. She's like, no, Moni. No, Orlando. My heart. And he was serious. He was serious. The family had to talk to Orlando. Am I lying? They had to talk to Orlando. Like, that is a grown ass woman with a husband. That is not your little girl anymore. Moni. He wasn't hearing nothing. Now, man, you know, even though he was going through that, me and Orlando always been cool. Don't get it twisted. But it was always funny to sit back and see how hard it was for him to realize, like, man, she's actually a grown woman. It's not just, you know, you hope that she grows up to get married someday and be happy, but she's actually there. I'm not ready for it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not ready for that moment.
Yeah, they need to, you know, say like swallow.
Swallow it, embrace it, accept it for what it is.
Yeah.
And so yeah, definitely. Well, guys, we didn't get a chance to.
Actually, we didn't.
Well, let's at least finish the first video where the one young lady's talking. We didn't get a chance to even touch.
Oh my!
We got a lot of this video to go.
No. This is like 6 hours of live stream.
I know,
I
right?
accept the fact that, hey, we've been taught wrong. We've been sold a certain set of rules, and a lot of women ran with it. And now it's the very thing that's holding them back from getting or achieving the things that they say they want, as it relates to husbands and relationships.
My favorite things about dating a Mexican is she gets up at 3 a.m. to make you lunch.
One of my favorite things about dating a black guy is that
Andre used to do that.
What?
Get up early in the morning to make me lunch before you went to work.
Went to the office.
Before you go to That's what Andre used to do that.
people are scared to honk at you on the street, even if you're a bad driver.
One of my favorite things about dating a Mexican is I get to eat one of my favorite foods every night, and it's home cooked.
Things about dating a black guy is that he introduced me to luxury items.
One of my favorite things about dating a Mexican is those YG lyrics are true. If you know, you know.
Favorite things about dating a black guy is that he'll fight anyone for you, including girls.
Like that.
Well, a lot of women are not looking to settle down at this point. And that's what just it seems like in my immediate world, right?
Okay.
And if you are as a man, right, like you can't settle down with a woman that doesn't want to settle down, right? You gotta go overseas, like if that's what you're looking for a wife.
Ain't none of y'all passport bros found a wife yet. Cause that's what y'all kept on telling us that y'all was going over there for. We knew y'all was lying, but that's what y'all said.
Passport bros a week. Ain't none of y'all married. All y'all broke. All y'all got a particular look about y'all. Y'all can't get baddies over here, so you go across seas and go get them baddies.
We knew y'all. I'm in agreement with it. We knew y'all were lying. You're not going to certain countries in Africa, and you know why? You know why. Y'all just going over there to get your little rockers off.
That most of them aren't actually leaving, and most of them probably don't even have a passport to begin with.
See, the reason why a lot of these passport bros like running overseas, hooking up with these women in third world countries, is because they like suppressed women.
Some of you men are using passport bros as a cover up to go to other countries and be a pedophile. Where is your wife?
I have a bone to pick with the passport bros. Where are the wives at?
Talking about they going over there to find wives because the women over there are so much better. But yet, nobody came back with a wife. I wonder why.
This is to my passport bros. Why haven't y'all found a wife yet? But I haven't seen y'all go over there, nor brought a wife over back to America.
Well, actually.
All these guys are great.
I know.
This is my business, and this is yours. I am here. The problem is,
He's not saying.
I don't know where the sound went for that one.
We're going over to their country. We want our foreign women to stay.
Just go watch the whole video, because the girl is basically saying that she wants to run for president because she thinks there's something so terrible with America, but she's not taking any accountability on the behalf of the women. Like, I'm gonna take accountability on behalf of the women. I get it. And the only reason I can do that is because I'm in that sphere and I've learned so much. Prior to this, I thought all these men were hurt men, angry men, hated women, hated their moms, all sorts of things, right? In reality, I'm going to educate you on passport bros. They have tried. It's not just they woke up one morning and they said, F this, I'm going to move somewhere else. They really tried to have harmonious relationships with women, but women don't want to be led in America. And as an independent woman, I'm saying I want to be led. But not the toxic ones in the manosphere, but the good ones in the manosphere, which is most of the men in the manosphere. They're not telling women to follow them blindly and go make a sandwich in the kitchen like it's 1950s. That's what the mainstream narrative tries to create. The reality is that they have tried. And I say this because I've talked to many of them. And if you look at that video, the very first section where the first boy that stumbled upon the passport, as he called it, brothers or something like that, which is passport bros is the correct terminology. He's sad. He says how he's tried and he's ready to sign up for the passport bro lifestyle. So that's what they do. But it's not what you think. They go to other countries because in other countries, women still want to be led and they still value traditional roles and they still respect men. And in turn, a lot of men feel valued and they take care of their women over there. They buy houses, they buy apartments, they have condos, all sorts of things. I know a lot of guys also that while they have girlfriends over there, they will take care of the family too, because the American dollar still does go a pretty way in a lot of these countries. So they're not just going over there and using women and then coming back. They're genuinely having relationships, but they're looking for women in other countries because of the traditional values and thus feeling like a man that's needed and wanted. So that's the purpose of the passport bro. That's what he does. He goes and he travels the world. And he usually ends up finding a woman in somewhere like the Philippines or Mexico or Costa Rica, you name it. And they don't want to bring them here because what happens with foreign women when they come here and see the Western woman that says, I don't need a man, is that they also start saying the same things. They stop trusting their man like they did when they met them in their own country. And guys figured it out.
I see some black people, one black guy in the front. Black men are hot. Come on, guys. Have you been with a black guy? Never. Oh, next time, you know, like you can. When you're ready to move on, this is the way to do it. My ex-boyfriend was black. I met him one day. El Pollo Loco was closed, so I went to Popeyes. Thank you for getting the joke delayed.
All right, let's stop that right there. And Chanel said, did you get my message? Did you send a message? I was looking for a message in here in the comments. Did you send a message? Let me ask you this. Are you asking by way of the chat? Did you send me an email? Let me know, Chanel, what you were mentioning so I can look for your message. And you're absolutely correct. He said, who said we have to come back? We don't. Some guys do, but many of us know how the atmosphere is back in the States. And you don't want to cause your wife to be part of the corruption that's taking place and the stress that's taking place. The sound went out, DJ. What she was saying was, this circle represents your business. This circle represents my business. The problem is, X, this is my business. X, you're in my business. You need to be over here minding your own business. That's what she was saying. The one young lady was saying in regards to Dana, the one that was talking about the passport bros weren't married. she was basically saying like, listen, why don't you just mind your own business and stay out of their business? I didn't get this when he said they want to be led to your bank account and assets. I didn't get that one, brother. Shout out to Mello in the building. He said all them people talking about we ain't married yet. Shit, they're not either because they worried about us. That's a good point. They so worried about us, whether we're married or not, that they aren't even getting married. That's serious. Yeah, that was a funny joke about the Popeyes. What's up, Eastside? Shout out to you, Detroit.
You better back the fuck up out my
Johnny
face,
Blaze.
goddammit. I'm from Detroit, Michigan. Don't play with me.
He say, what's wrong with a person choice? Damn. Yeah. I don't know why people get upset when people decide to go international or go interracial. I'm going to say something as we wind this down. I have no problem with seeing a sister with the white boy, the Latin dude, the Asian dude. I could care less. I really could. And most of us that do care is because we've been programmed to care about what another person is doing. We actually think that because that sister married that white boy, that she hates brothers. We don't know that. And we're being hypocritical because as soon as we get a Latin girl or Latin wife, do we hate black women? No. So let's not think that sisters are hating brothers. We all have the opportunity of preference. And so we're going to let you guys go for right now because we got a movie night tonight. You know, we do have in-house date nights as well as when we go out on date nights. And tonight is our night, not you guys' night. We love you. We love you.
Yeah.
So I'll be seeing you guys tomorrow. Make sure that you guys here tomorrow. And because we are going to have an excellent live stream on remote work and government contract work that you can do in other countries.
Yeah.
My name is Andre.
My name is Andrea.
And we are
Love Crossing Borders and Andrea Wallace TV.
Oh, and we're on Andrea Wallace TV. Make sure you guys subscribe to Andrea Wallace TV. Let me get that link for you guys right now. I'm all on Andrea Wallace TV, and I don't even have the link. The link right there for you guys. So if you guys haven't subscribed to Andrea Wallace TV, in which we're on right now, shout out to you guys, because we're going to get to the point in the next month or so when we do Andrea Wallace TV, we won't be doing Andrea Wallace and Love Crossing Borders like we do right now. It'll just be Andrea Wallace TV. So make sure you guys subscribe. Andrea is really close to almost 200 subscribers away from 5,000, crossing the 5,000 subscriber threshold. So make sure you guys subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. And on Saturday, Shaft in Africa, I'm gonna check that one out. I'm glad that you brought that up, Dave, because this weekend is movie weekend on Rumble. So you guys who have not subscribed to Rumble, make sure that you do that. Go to Love Crossing Borders on Rumble because we do Saturday evening movies starting at 7:30, and we have a great time. Talk to you guys later. So what time is the show? Mañana, it will be at 7:30. You guys, no, 8 o'clock you guys time. 8 o'clock you guys time.
Yeah.
So I'll see you guys later. Once again, we don't do an outro on Andrea's channel. We just leave it as a regular everyday outro. We don't do the cowgirls on Andrea's channel.
No.
She said no.
Hell no.
No cowgirls?
No.
All right, guys. I'll talk to you guys mañana.